Okay, there we go. Hello and welcome. Oh, I gotta get the cameras all fixed. Okay. Yeah, because I was doing something
every week with this.
Well, this week it was because I was doing something secret that required me to resize my Discord window. But yeah, hello, welcome. We are live here with D&D. What happened? What happened last time?
Nothing at all.
No moral quandaries at all.
Yeah, no moral quandaries. We don't have those here.
No, because we're the good guys. So we won brutally and swiftly and easily, and definitely not. It was actually quite scary.
We almost didn't win. Well, we almost won with greater effort. But thanks to my genius, my true, unmatched, towering intellect, we won slightly faster. With slightly fewer casualties. Maybe like one or two. Maybe.
We also brainwashed the Jarl.
Yeah, that wasn't part of my genius. That was part of the someone else's genius. I don't know whose it was. Was it Hingwis?
Talvo's idea.
Hingwis cast the spell, and Talvo's idea. Yeah.
Literally all the great ideas were mine. Like, Hingwis flying around with the beheaded Mila or whatever, and wearing the Jarl's crown, and just being like, "Fuck you! We super win. Give up, pussies."
And they kept not giving up. They just wanted to be enemy combatants so desperately.
They just wanted to be like potential valid targets, but you know. But anyway, they could not.
A statistic, dog.
Yeah.
But
we got their
lieutenant.
lieutenant.
Maybe show on the map exactly how. I want to see how close the army even got to our city.
Like, there was
like not
close.
Yeah, they had just left.
Like they didn't even make it to the crossroads. They were like,
Yeah, we pounced on them.
They were like halfway between Kalpadal and where the crossroads is, maybe even less than that. So. Yeah, they were like
stay off my fucking lawn.
It was like a 2.5 day journey, and it was like half a day into it that you guys sprung your attack. So,
sir, the dwarves are on the move. Launch the thermonuclear weapon. We bring half of our force. No, not like we tell the Boarman to walk, and by the time they get there, we have total victory. But now we have the logistical problem of bringing back all the prisoners that we have. Every NCO and every experienced member of the dwarven army of this dwarven army, that is, we got to bring him back with
also,
us.
You know, I was thinking about it. All those dwarves that were at the back end of the army that we told to kick rocks and go home, they should have most of their rations and supplies and stuff, because the back of the army is where all that would be.
Well, they all surrendered first, though. So you guys, because then you guys organized them and sorted them into
Mm-hmm. We also took the rations. We need those.
Yeah,
we didn't specifically say that. Yeah, but they're a half day's walk, and we have to bring a band of prisoners with us, and those slaves that they used as whatever they used them for. We have to feed them. So we would definitely have confiscated all the rations. And I would actually, honestly, except for the corpses, which they're not really feasible to take at the moment. I would want to take all the weapons and stuff. We can't leave them here. I mean, I guess we could leave them here to rust and rot, but I think we should take.
Okay. And I know that you were
kids just walk around and pick up swords.
You guys were going to what's it called? Well, so weren't you guys going to? You're going to do negotiations for peace in a couple days, right?
Yes.
It would. In fact, the deadline we gave them was before we could even make it home.
Yeah.
So, yes, but yeah, it has to be right now.
Okay.
If we're gonna have peace at all.
So before you starting back, would you just kind of like hold where you're at then?
I don't think so. I think we'd start marching.
We don't need the whole. Yeah, we don't need the whole fuck off castle here for the.
Yeah, it could just be us
for the negotiations.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, so if I remember correctly, I think I put it in the chat. You guys had like, yeah, you guys kept 150 prisoners. You originally had like over 300, but you narrowed it down to the 50 officers, 75 like long-term soldiers, like career soldiers, not necessarily mercenaries, but just, you know, people who work as soldiers,
professional
right?
soldiers.
Yeah. And then there was a group of a couple dozen loyal conscripts that just refused to like leave their officers or whatever. So you have 150 prisoners total.
I think it's more they just didn't want to walk home in the snow, but
that too a little bit.
Yeah. There would also be great reparations
like,
at home. There was a lot of
walk.
Yeah, I'm sure there are multiple reasons. But yeah, yeah.
One thinks an officer is really hot, so they want to stick by them.
Could be, yeah. So yeah, you guys would have these prisoners, and so you're gonna start heading back towards Roliger, right? The thing is that you will have. So yeah, and I believe you said you're going to keep most of the prisoners, like, or, you know, any that don't fit in the castle, you will just keep, like, marching on the ground, and the Boarman will watch over them, along with your guys' dudes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Gotcha. Before we get to that, also, the whole battle took place in, like, the evening, or the afternoon, then, you know, went on for hours into the evening. Quite a grueling affair, really. And so then it was about midnight by the time you guys finally kind of resolved everything and had the Boarman arrive. So I'm assuming you would have just spent, like, camped the night there. And that would also give time for other people, like non-combatants on your guys' side, to go and, like, you know, tend to the wounded, go and bring back any loot, you know, from the fallen enemies and stuff, you know, all this sort of thing. So after everything is said and done for the day, you guys are kind of hunkering down for this night before you start heading back home, and you would have Shot would come up to you guys, and he would like pull you guys aside, and he's like, he would tell you guys, he's like, I have good news and bad news.
Again?
What do you want first?
Bad news.
I'm gonna start with the good news. The good.
Why do you do this every time, Sean? Is this some Boarman custom?
Why do you ask if you're just gonna ignore the answer?
There's not even gonna be good news.
The good news is we figured out how Hila escaped.
Found the missing prisoner?
No.
Hila.
Oh, okay.
Hila's dead.
Or sorry, Addie, the Hila's lover.
Yes, Addie.
My bad.
Yes.
He wouldn't have mixed that. That's me. But we found out how Addie escaped. Yeah. Also, a few of her sergeants were gone too, by the way.
Is that the bad news?
No, the good news is that we figured out how they escaped.
Okay.
The bad news is how they escaped.
Were they teleported out?
No.
Riley got in charge of them and then let them out as well because he's just so stupid.
No, Riley was not there. But here's what I sort of... after we talked last, I realized we never fully confirmed the death of Oof, the Goblin King.
No, we didn't.
And so I scryed on him myself. And I was expecting that maybe he would have bled out in his cave. But instead, the spell, it failed entirely, but not in a way where I felt like he is dead. I sensed something there.
So, what, do you think he's in a sphere of no scry? I forget what they're called. Mordenkainen's private sanctum?
He shrugs. He's like that. He's like, that's one thing, but he's definitely still alive. I just can't see him.
And, like, we know for a fact that that's the reason that Addy escaped? Or?
Well, so that brings me to the next thing. I sent a message back to Rologer earlier today when I discovered this. It was when you were dealing with negotiations. And I asked them if they could go and investigate. So they went to the goblins' caves, and, well, I asked them to scour around, see if they found anything. The cave-in is still there, of course, but a distance away they found what looked to be a burrow, a tunnel, coming out of the mountainside.
Interesting.
And then, a bit after that, they reported that there was also similar signs of burrowing from the prison area that Addy had been held in.
What do we pay these guards for? Like, we had
like they were just in the town center, like in an open cage. Our guards kind of
there's
suck.
that, and then we also left guys at the mountain to be like, hey, watch out just in case anything else comes out of there.
Well, actually, to be fair, though, some of the prisoners, I was assuming, would have been moved underground with a lot of the villagers because of the impending attack that you guys thought was coming. Because I think didn't you guys have, like, holding cells in, like, the underground area, too?
Well, the
We
vampires
didn't have
did.
holding cells.
Yeah.
We had like I think we kind of fashioned like a sort of like panic bomb shelter, like in the mines,
Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah, that was
Maybe in that little offshoot where we killed all the dwarves.
yeah, put them there. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's not implausible that we would have done that.
Yeah.
But I don't think we said anything specifically about it. So, okay. Well, anyway, what do we? I mean, I can't really do anything about that right now. I have no spells. I can't even commune to get information. So
yeah, Shot would basically ask you guys. He would say he can send a message to the town. He's like, do you want them to keep looking? Where do you want them to look, if anything? Like,
do we have any like small people who could fit in those holes?
well, they brought. We have dwarves who work with us and live in the town.
yeah.
Well, okay, then
What about the goblin child?
Yeah, where's the goblin? I was gonna say, where are the goblin children? Are they gone?
True. They totally know what we would be asking them. No, I guess send some dwarves in. If that sounds like a good idea to you guys to check it out and see where it leads.
You probably also have a couple druids, lower level druids who can shapeshift, wild shape.
True. Is there anything that's particularly, because they can wild shape into not just normal animals, right?
I mean, it depends on the type, but they're probably low enough level where they wouldn't really do much. But they could, they could still shapeshift into badgers or something.
I think we need to set an intelligent named NPC on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, even they can betray us, so.
I want Shima to like take a look at this and figure out what the fuck's happening back there.
Yeah, your Ronin guy that you now recruited. Okay, yeah, you can tell Shot to relay that Shima should be put on that. Sure. Okay. Yeah. So he'll look into that.
Hey, Hingwis, can you scry?
Tuned.
He's not attuned to it right
Not
now.
attuned. Well, can we? Do you think you
can
could
be
attune
an
to
hour,
it?
I guess.
And then scry Addy?
Can I like take a nap first though?
No. Fine, I'll do it. I'll do it. Give me the orb.
I'll do it because I don't need to take a nap because I don't have dumb little spell slots.
Well, you say you sleep though.
I'm just physically tired, dog.
Yeah, me. Yeah, same.
Yeah, your characters are probably all exhausted. But
I've taken no damage.
I would say that, like, well, Hingwis and Adau are elves at least, so you guys don't need to rest for as long. You know.
Yeah, we just kind of meditate. For a little bit.
So one of you guys could definitely scry on Addy, and it fails.
Bruh.
But in the same way that Shot was describing, you sense that she's not dead. She's certainly not dead. It just fails for some other reason.
I suck at Arcana. What reasons could there be for such a thing?
Roll an Arcana check.
Yeah.
Everyone else can too if you want, because
I'm a little better.
You've had it described a couple of times now, so you know. Okay.
This ought to be good. Hold on.
That was gonna not.
Yeah, this is gonna be the inexplicable Talvo rolls a bajillion for no reason at all.
Yeah. Here, wait, Talvo. Oh, no, you can still do it. You can still do it. Add a D4 because I was like, if Talvo, he just knows shit sometimes.
Yeah, I want to see roll higher than
I want to see what you know.
He does. He does.
21.
Okay, so we'll say Talvo is the only one that thinks of this. Talvo, you remember back when you were a kid, your father actually worked with a mage every so often, right? Just paying him for like different sorts of information, stuff like that, right? Or like a potion or something. And you remember that your father would actually like pay for scrying services to basically see where your ships were at, to make sure, like, if there was a big storm that came through an area, make sure one of your father's shipping convoys was, unharmed or whatever. And you vividly remember just randomly that one of the things, there's a few things that can prevent scrying. One of them is a countermeasure, right? Like a Mordekainen's private sanctum, whatever, or different spells like I think does Forbiddance or whatever. Does that also do it? I think. Yeah.
I don't think it does scry.
No, it's just
teleportation. Yeah, but there are other wards against
stuff like that.
Yeah, there are other wards against scrying though. However, you do remember that another way that can. You remember this wizard talking about another way that can half fail, where you still get some information, but you can't see the person, is if they're no longer in your plane of existence.
Yeah, I thought of that for, I realized, okay. Yeah, I gotta sleep, but then I can do something about that.
They're gonna be invisible.
How did I get fucked by two men named Keenan at once?
No, Hingwis, it's funny because you. Oh, I know what they did. I know what they did.
Yeah. They touched the goddamn orb.
They touched the ball. They touched the orb. Well, I don't have to touch the orb to get over there, and neither does the genie. So, could the genie please bring me and Talvo, or just Talvo, because I think you can only bring one person. I don't know, to the Shadow Realm, and then Talvo, you can scry real quick.
No, plane shift I think is 8 people.
8 people.
It might be.
Really?
I don't actually remember. Teleport is 8, I think, but plane shift.
Can you fuck up teleports?
Oh, wow, yeah. It's up to 8 willing creatures.
Okay, yeah.
And the caster.
Yeah, there you go.
I feel like some of us should stay in this reality in case shit goes wrong.
Probably,
I don't know if I want to go back to the Shadow Place. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, can Helios and I not go to the Shadow Realm?
Did the Boarwoman shaman leader of the clan come with her
No,
like scouts
she
down there?
stayed
Okay.
back with to defend the town, right?
That makes sense. Okay, then how many times can the genie plane shift in a day? I think whoever goes has to.
It might be 3
has
times.
to stay there. Oh, really?
Or it might be 1.
Just once a
I
day.
think it's one.
It's
Yeah.
1 a day. Okay.
Yeah. So whoever goes, if we go now, we'll have to wait until I can cast that in 8 hours. So, you know.
You can trust us on the castle for 8 hours.
No, I can't. But I mean, I don't know if I would go because I mean, Talvo's the one who scryed. You know.
Like you're the. Wait, is it you that has plane shift, or is it the genie?
The genie.
The genie. Oh yeah, I would have to go, and then I'd have to rest. You're right. That's true. Okay. Do you guys wanna go to the Shadow Realm and then scry right now, or do you want to wait until we've rested?
We go sooner rather than later, I guess. Although y'all won't be able to communicate to us what you find.
Well,
So
yeah, that's the problem. Is that it's only the other way around.
okay, well then I guess we'll go tomorrow after we've all had a little nappy wappy.
Wait, can't banishment? Wouldn't it only send people to this plane? Or is it no? It's a harmless demi-plane, unless they're from another plane, and then which case they go there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think we need to rest. Whatever they're planning. I mean, I'm guessing only Oof and a few of his higher ups survived. If it wasn't just Oof, so you know.
Whatever they're planning is probably just to go back to the goddamn dwarves.
Yeah. I mean, what are they gonna do? Wish again? No. Right. Surely not.
Oh wait, shit! Didn't the ball form a portal?
I don't think so.
Isn't that how you saw Hila?
I was like a porthole, not a portal. You know, like I couldn't go through it.
I thought there was like some minor interaction, but okay.
So it sounds like you guys are gonna rest first, then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys, you rest through the night, and it's.
Oh wait! Before we rest, are we marching through the night or no?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
We're gonna stay here and collect all of the weapons and armor that were left, and then organize things and get the rations from their supply train.
Cool.
You would also know,
think...
just from looking at the dwarven prisoners, that if you march through the night, some of them would just collapse and die from exhaustion. Because remember, they were literally they were in combat for hours on end, right? Being pushed back and harried the whole way, right? Yeah.
After a 5-minute MMA fight, those guys are collapsing on the ground,
and it was
they can hardly move.
So yeah, you would have probably killed at least 30 of them by marching through the night.
Yeah. So I think
and actually fighting them.
Yeah. But so I think Hingwis, you and I should space our meditations so that I am awake but rested or resting for the first 4 hours or the second 4 hours, while the other, while you are in your trance. Does that make sense?
You almost died earlier, so you lay down, I guess.
No.
All right. Yeah, I guess you did need to go to bed first. Holy shit.
All right.
Yeah.
And the night would pass without incident.
Swag.
So the next morning you wake up.
Very cool.
Yeah, the next morning you guys wake up after a much needed rest. And you all you get up, you get a nice hot meal, and some of the dwarven, one of the dwarven like carts of supplies that was being brought along for their their whole little campaign, their short-lived campaign. One of their carts had a big barrel full of like dwarven mead that's especially made for breakfasts. Like it's like a sweet mead that you eat alongside breakfast, or you drink alongside breakfast.
Fuck yes.
Okay.
There didn't happen to be a cart full of, say, some kind of whiskey of fire, was there?
There was, in fact, there was.
It's 8 in the morning.
I'm not taking it now.
So Bree has played
it may
Shift
take
as
a little
well.
bit now.
I don't have it at the moment, but I can prepare it.
Prepare it for today. Yeah, I'm preparing mine for today as well.
Okay, I'll have it just in case then.
Alright. So as you guys are kind of like sipping on some breakfast mead and having nice like sausages and like omelets and stuff, so Shot would actually come back to you guys. And he'd whisper in your ear and be like, "Sir, a second dwarven army is hit." No, okay. No, he'd say he wouldn't whisper. He would just come up to you guys where you're eating and sit down and look at you guys and say, he kind of has like a quizzical, troubled look on his face.
Who's this?
Shot.
Is there at least also good news this time as well, or is it just
buddy.
all bad?
What you want to tell
I
us?
need
Second?
you. You gotta chill out, man.
He looks at you. He's like, "Hey, man,
I want to like you. I want to like you, but every time you roll up, I kind of just want to die."
He's like, "I'm just trying to give you guys information from the town. They're sending me the messages. They don't want you guys to be distracted in combat or whatever.
A break.
And plus, I'm the one who can send messages back."
Start like sending one of your apprentices, man. Make me like hate like a little kid. Don't make me hate you.
Yeah.
He nods. He's like,
I appreciate your usefulness, Shot.
He nods. He's like, "Okay, well, today it's only bad news. Sorry." Actually, but then he's like, "Okay, well, I'm not sure if it's actually bad news, but here's the thing. I heard back from Shima through another priest or cleric in town who relayed this message to me that he sent out wider patrols, and they found another entrance into the cave systems. Again, another newly made one, a new fresh cave entrance. But they found hoof prints leading up to this entrance.
What kind of hooves?
What other kinds of hooves are there?
Well, there are a bunch.
Shima said that that you all would know what he means. That they're horse hooves, not elk.
I think Talvo's mentioned something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like an elk with no horns.
What the fuck is a horse?
What kind of evolutionary benefit does that give? What the fuck?
Well, they're also scared of anything that moves, so...
that's true.
So what, they just run their whole life?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the vibe I got.
Yeah, around a small island on the east coast of this continent, yes.
What? Why is there a whole ass hooved species just dedicated to running around? What use could that possibly serve?
I don't know, man. Magic works in mysterious ways.
I know. There's literal gods you can talk to. Take it up with them, okay? Like I don't know.
I will find a god to bitch about horses.
So anyway, do centaurs exist on this continent? They do, because we talked to them. We did.
Because we've been chased down by them.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
You know
I thought we killed them all. We killed them all with
about them about 10 minutes ago.
No, you didn't kill them all. You just killed one.
We didn't kill everyone on the continent.
We didn't
commit genocide this time.
We did not. Well, okay, hold on.
Centaurs are pretty rare on this continent, from what you guys heard, basically. But you ran into some near Unudu.
Yeah. They also, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be digging tunnels. Are they? Was this a horse
they're
or
probably
a centaur
using
sized
tunnels that
tunnel?
already exist.
They
found an
the tunnel that was found was dug to fit things at least 10 feet tall.
That's convenient.
What the fuck are they doing that they can dig a 10-foot tall, like 100-foot hole in 2 days?
Maybe
Other
they
than,
wished
you know,
for it. Like, I
magic.
wish to dig a hole, and then bam.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, with like move earth and stone shape or whatever it is, I guess you could use those. But like, damn. Okay. Well, this is unacceptable. I'm gonna commune right now.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, boys. I fucking like get rid of all the food in front of me. I put candles down.
My fucking sausages, man.
In front of myself.
Fuck your sausages.
God damn it! You
I
don't
immediately
have to
reach across the table and
every time.
grab what's left of Adau's breakfast and start eating it in front of him.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense.
I didn't literally throw it on the floor. I just moved it.
Yeah, I know. I grabbed it.
Yeah, so
you
like
pushed it
you
away,
shove
and I
it
reached
aside.
for mine.
Talvo's just like, oh, I'll take that. And then
Yeah. Okay. He's like, oh, if you don't want it. Okay.
Well, you
Well,
got your fucking dragon girlfriend. Well, fucking excuse me.
Yeah.
2,000-year-old dragon waifu girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, how's things
He's gotta
going
talk to his
on?
AI girlfriend. He's fucking pulling out the replica.
Fucking God, I hate
The
replica.
replica. Do they even exist anymore? Anyway.
I don't want to know.
Even, did, I don't fucking, did centaurs somehow dig, a tunnel that reaches into the cave system underneath our town?
Kind of.
Okay. Kasaria, please write me a poem about being a robot. I don't know. Okay.
Oh,
Are they at all related to the ones that we encountered in Unudu like a year ago?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay. Can we not see Oof and Adi because they are in the Shadow Realm?
No.
God. Okay. Well. All right.
They're right behind.
Do I remember the face very well of one of the centaurs that we fought?
Probably, we had a whole conversation with them.
Yeah, I'm thinking that. What would I roll? History or perception?
It would just
For
be a
what?
flat intelligence check.
I don't know. My
yeah,
God.
real memory, idiot.
When we reach out to Drake,
That's not terrible. Henry.
We'll say that you can remember the leader's face.
Okay. Hingwis, give me the ball.
Ball for like days.
Oh my god, Talvo, give me the ball.
I hold the anti-magic spear.
No, can I have the crystal ball of scrying, please?
I don't have it.
Who has the
That's
ball?
it.
You
That's
see,
Hingwis, baby.
you guys
But
look,
if you're here,
you guys look over and you
here.
see that the little goblin kid is going, oh, and holding the.
Throwing it in the air.
He'd be in the town. He wouldn't be with you guys.
I
But,
said,
No,
why
please.
did we bring him?
Yeah.
nah, I'm just messing.
just
Hey,
scrying
did, you
with the
have
board.
did you not have enough trauma the other day? Come here, kid. Want to see a full-scale slaughter?
Oh,
And he comes from a blood cult, so he's like, oh boy! Yes!
He's sort of into it.
Yeah, anyway, well, where's the ball? I need the ball.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
someone
please.
have it, but you know, you get it.
Okay, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna unattune from my belt and attune to that.
Yeah.
While everyone else eats.
Okay.
I would like, as soon as we got up, I would have started marching us. Also,
Yeah, I was gonna say you
We
guys
should
are
be
probably
moving.
marching, but you know that's the nice thing of having a moving castle. You can just be doing all this while that's being handled. So
Yep.
Another minor question. Helios, do you like station your shield guardian somewhere, or does he just hang out with us all the time?
I am
Like,
Is he eating breakfast?
Yeah, is he like
breakfast
just
with
chilling?
the homies. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't really need to eat, but like he would just he could chill with you. He also does not like I don't know. Has Helios tried to talk to it at all?
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't really answer.
Be like,
he's fairly mindless. Like he is intelligent enough at doing like carrying out orders, right? He has intuition enough to carry out orders you give. Other than that, he has no real personality of his own or anything like that.
okay, good. I have a +0, so we're on the same level.
Oh no, he's much worse than you even. So, like,
Doesn't say much.
he doesn't really have any sort of.
So is he like a person or like a construct? Like what
he's
is
a construct, right? He's basically a golem.
So we can't enjoy this delicious sausage.
Like it's like literally he's like basically like an Iron Man suit of armor, but like one of the automated ones that doesn't have Iron Man in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does that mean he can wear it eventually?
Well, not really. Like there's like wooden joints and like gears and stuff like that. Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't want to talk to you because you won't name him.
I am bad with names.
That's fair.
He wouldn't care if he.
Now you're poems on the spot.
No, his name is. I asked him what his name was, and he didn't reply. So his name is.
Oh, that's a good name.
Yeah.
He shall be referred to as.
Yeah. So,
that's gonna make for some very clear communication down the road.
Absolutely, is really good at it. So you should listen to it sometime.
So you guys get marching, or well, you're not marching, but like you basically tell everyone down below to start marching the prisoners along.
Before we actually do start leaving, though, during the like cleanup process, I need to personally ensure that at least like a bone or something from the dwarven wizard got scooped up.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm assuming you would have. I'm assuming you would have recovered the bodies of the more important combatants. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Did we go and find Mila's head?
Yeah, I was assuming you would have sent someone to the
bottom
of the
I don't want
ravine.
anyone reviving.
Yeah. Whoopsie doodles.
Yeah. And yeah, so then that would have definitely happened. Like even like during the night. Like again, you would have had shifts of other non-combatants who could go out there now that it's safe to do so. So yeah, you guys would begin the long march back home. I mean, it's not that long; it's a few days, but slower with the prisoners and everything. The castle itself is fine. And meanwhile, Adau unattunes from his other thing, attunes to the crystal ball. That just takes like an hour to do both of those things at once, because you basically you don't even technically need to unattune to something until you just overwrite with another.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I do that.
Okay, and then you take a few minutes to scry. I'm assuming it's just 10 minutes. So
yeah, I'm gonna do the full thing.
All right. So who are you gonna scry first here?
The leader, the centaur leader. I was thinking, well, why did I get this? I can't scry Adi, I can't scry Oof. But then, the leader.
You get the same sensation that you did for Adi and Oof.
Well, and so I listened to Talvo say that there's some spell countermeasure, or they're no longer on our plane of existence. Well, those are the only two things.
Yeah, and you just asked God, and God said no, they're not.
Yeah, they're not on the shadow realm, but I mean, I guess that means they're working together, goblins and centaurs. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, goblins are light; so they can easily ride centaurs.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think
Oof
they're
is not light.
Oof is not light. That's true. But also, I just didn't think their values would align. But apparently, they don't like us. So they're willing to put anything aside.
Yeah, what did you guys do to the last group of centaurs, actually?
So they were aligned with the Duchess of Unudu, and Talvo said to them, we're probably going to go interrogate and murder her. And they were like, you're going to what? And so then they attacked us.
They're a bunch of white knights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she wasn't going to tell us where the wellspring was until we did something. I think kill Locke, and we were allied with Kurbak, but we were trying to play both sides of the,
And
situation.
they were scary, and we were level 6, so...
Yeah, we were tiny little 6
route.
babies, and we took the low route, yeah. We didn't end up torturing or killing the Duchess. Locke, I think, killed her later, but we weren't there for that. Honestly, I like Locke less and less with every passing day.
I think you heard that Locke basically, slaughtered most of the population of Unudu and then took the Duchess and basically, paraded her corpse around, and then hung it from a tree or something, basically made it, a whole show of it, pretty gruesome.
Yep.
Kind of like we did with
she that bad? God damn.
Yeah, that was not. I'm gonna not take credit for that one.
Well, I like you say like how Logan is like, was she that bad? But literally, her whole thing was she wanted to protect the wellspring so it wasn't abused by
someone who would abuse
warriors.
it. Who would ever do that?
And then now you remember those corrosive blades that Locke made with the wellspring. That surely wouldn't count as abusing its power.
No.
She made.
Well,
She made the fatal mistake of not being as scary as Kurbak. Sorry.
True.
yeah.
Wait, let's
been
let
more
them
threatening.
fight. Honestly, let's let her kill Kurbak with the sword that she's definitely not going to do. Wink, wonk.
Well, what
And
if she
then
just doesn't, and
we'll
then
fight.
something way worse happens?
Oh, fuck. We wanted to say the way. We can escape down to the south.
Yes. This will go well.
Wow,
How's
because
the
you'll
north-
love
how's
going
the,
down south. It's great. They love it down there.
How's the Pacific Northwest doing? Big rat guy up here. There's no news up there. I think we could hide out there.
Yeah, the world ending.
I mean, we could just go.
The world eating
Just
rat
go
is
drop
up
the
there.
barrier. Go back to
But
my.
you'd
We can go back to
rather
my place,
fight-
guys.
Say,
We can fuck off from this continent forever. Just leave.
if I had to choose to die at the hand
Hopefully
of
nothing will go
Kurbak,
wrong if we
Locke,
fuck
or
off
the
from this
world-eating
continent forever.
rat, I know who I'm picking.
I mean, I can show you guys the camels. You ever seen a camel? It's like a
What the
horse.
fuck's a camel? What the fuck's a horse?
I told you, it's like an elk with no horns.
I hate that. Never say that again.
Well, that's just like a female elk, idiot.
No.
Help the elk keep their antlers. That's
Wrong.
right here.
I actually have no idea. I don't know how elk work. Probably like that.
I mean, you guys could just get Talvo to draw a horse, and then Bree turns
draw a
into
horse.
one, and
Draw a horse
then you
and
guys can know what a
put it in
horse
chat right
looks
now.
like. What if you draw it bad though? It's like that one meme of the badly drawn horse, and then Bree turns into it, but it's
Yeah,
just like
yep.
that.
Bree can summon
Worse
it.
thing is progressively worse.
Would we
Yeah,
say
this
that's
one.
a sleight of hand?
No,
a
I'm
good
gonna say
question.
performance.
Pretty good horse.
Okay,
It's an even better horse.
Okay,
Slightly
draw-
better horse.
You draw a
Huge.
pretty good horse, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's performance.
I'm gonna try to copy it.
I think sleight of hand is to copy him.
It's the worst. It's the horse.
It's the horse, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, the copy.
better.
There's a whole separate forgery skill too.
True.
Yeah, well, there's forgery tools or whatever, right? I don't remember what it's called.
I am proficient in thieves' tools, not that.
Yeah, there's a separate set of tools for that, yeah. Anyways, though, okay.
Is a horse a simple weapon? I'm proficient in...
Nice,
It's
yeah.
a horse, a simple weapon.
So, you guys are gonna be having your prisoners march back. Do you have anything else that you would, do to scry or commune, Duncan? Because, it sounded like you maybe wanted to.
I mean, I guess I would scry the Jarl,
Okay.
while I'm here.
Yeah, you scry the Jarl.
We definitely have some of his blood on the fucking ground here somewhere. It's dried, but if I could get some, I would.
Probably you would have chopped off a lock of his hair.
Yeah,
before
this is
you let
something
him
for which
go
we would
back.
have prepared. Yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely scry him. I'm not even gonna make him roll against it. You would definitely succeed, or he would fail rather. But
Well, I think we would have told him like, hey, we're gonna check in on you.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, you could have
just let it happen, baby.
Yeah, and so you see him sitting on his like throne in his hall, and you see he's talking to his advisors.
Okay. What are they talking about?
They are clearly trying... You kind of come in mid-conversation, but you immediately pick up that they are trying to convince him to let the priests, like, look him over. And they're all clearly very suspicious. Like, they don't think he's in his right state of mind. Because he's basically saying, like, what did you basically tell him to do, Talvo? Or who actually...
He actually has now a phobia of magic.
Yeah. And the reasoning that we said is because he was killed by magic. And so he doesn't want any spells cast near him.
Yeah, but then did you tell him anything else as far as, like... You told him basically he was going to cooperate with your guys' negotiations, right? And then...
I don't think we even told him that. I think we said that...
No, we definitely told him... We told him something to the effect, like, he's in contact to us within, like, the next... like week or so.
Yeah, but I mean, he listens to them, you know. So
yeah, well, the idea is that like because we guessed him, it only lasts for a month.
For a month.
Back when he comes back, we're gonna like upcast it for a year.
Okay. Yeah, and so he basically is sitting there, and he's like, you basically come in mid-conversation where his like priest and other advisors are basically like, you know, like let the high priest here look at you, let him take a look at you. And he's like, no, this will never happen. And he's basically just being...
Look with your eyes, not your foul magics!
Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay. When someone else gave him an order, and Hingwis was like, okay, also listen to these guys, as part of Gesh. So I think
he just said Talvo. I don't think he's...
Oh, okay.
You weren't there. He didn't have your voice to know to listen to.
Okay. Well, then I'm not gonna... I can't really get him to... You know,
You could try saying, "Hey, Talvo said."
Maybe I could, but I just want to keep listening until like something. Yeah, I want to kind of gauge what they're saying so that I can formulate arguments to give to the Duke later that make sense. Mm-hmm. You know, so that because obviously they're suspicious, and I don't know what kind of Jarl he was before, also. So maybe if I get, I've heard about him, but maybe if they get to a different topic other than magic, I can hear how he sounds when he's not under the effects of the spell, and kind of get, like see what's gonna happen.
Okay. So it kind of seems like just kind of like some pointless squabbling back and forth. Well, basically, like again, it's his advisors trying to do what they think is best for him, which clearly is because they're like he's pretty obviously like not in his right mindset. But he is refusing it, and they are not. None of them are bold enough to basically go against his word. Clearly, so it kind of goes back and forth for a few minutes. However, after about like 5 minutes of the scrying time, because it lasts for 10 minutes, I think, right? After about 5 minutes of this, you're like, okay, like you're starting to get bored. You're like, okay, clearly nothing's happening. But then all of a sudden, there's a loud fanfare of music being played from like trumpets.
Oh.
And your sensor, you have your normal vision, right? So you can just like look around and see. And you see the big entrance to the hall here opening, the door's opening. And a crier comes in and yells out and then announces, he says, "Make way for King Vultuf, mighty as he is."
Oh, shit.
And you see a large group of dwarves starts entering the hall here. First and foremost are actually there's actually something that you haven't seen before, Duncan.
Of course.
There is what looks to be, it's almost like the Shield Guardian, except it's much more in line with like a humanoid's proportions and size. The Shield Guardian is, even though I kind of described it as like an Iron Man suit of armor, it is like 10 feet tall. Like, it's very big, and lots of it, parts of it are bulky, right? This thing that you're seeing here is much more like slender, and also clearly much more intelligent. You can tell just by the way it looks around. It like is scouting out the way ahead, and it has a double-ended glaive, like a two-sided glaive that it's holding at the ready, and basically marching in alert. And like I said, this thing is not something you've seen before. It's clearly an automaton of some sort, but it doesn't really look like mindless, like the golems you've met or the Shield Guardian. And it's taking the point. Behind it are a couple dozen, like, very elite dwarven warriors, all of whom have shining armor that you can tell is either made of ice splick or, like, adamantine or whatever, right? Like, they all have, like, enchanted armor. Then comes along the king, and he is being actually carried in a palanquin? I can never pronounce that word. Palanquin?
I think it's right, actually. Palanquin.
Yeah.
Palanquin.
And and there's slaves carrying it, right? His name, not that the town crier would have said it, but his nickname is Voltuf the Cruel, right? Because he is very ruthless when it comes to his enemies and the slaves under his control. And he's being carried along, and in front of his, right in front of him is a Shield Guardian, like the one that you guys now have.
Another, so a different one?
Yeah.
And the other? Okay. I want to pop out.
Wow,
Can you pop in and out of this for...
Yeah, the way I've always thought of it is that you can, roll back your eyes and then look through that, and then you go zoop temporarily, and then go back for the whole duration. Yeah.
Okay. I want to come out of here and be like, guys, I have an opportunity to cause chaos in the Dwarven Court. The king is in Kalpadal right now. And I don't know what's going to happen, but they're probably going to find out that we geshed the Jarl, because he's going to order some shit. I want to try to suggest the king to have the Jarl executed, because it's funny.
Yes, but our position of having the Jarl under our control,
also they were just all of his courtiers were just acting really sus. They were all very suspicious of how the Jarl was not in his right state of mind and absolutely refused to be looked at by the priest. So, I think we have limited time to act.
Yeah. Fuck, that'll be funny. Can we not just go there? Fuck it. He's gonna be there for a while. Yeah, go do the thing.
What do you guys think? Other people, other Mr. Talvo, Mr. Helios.
Since they're eating Adau's food in front of him that he sees now.
Can filibuster.
Filibuster?
Well, honestly. Nah, I was thinking you just just tell the Jarl to straight uprising. See if you can kill the king right now. Just throw the whole thing into turmoil. Just give him something to fucking chew on. Leave us alone.
While you can, if you can draw good pictures, draw a picture of the Jarl so that we can, scry him better.
I can draw good pictures. We saw I rolled a 5.
Mother.
Is the priest...
the priest you is... stick to your horse.
Is the king's wizard there? I'm gonna go back in.
You see, not only is there what looks to be a very high-end mage that is... So the Jarl's mage is also very highly trained, right? Is there, and he's one of the people that was trying to convince him, let me take, you guys killed him.
He's dead.
Yeah. No, the priest is there, though. Yeah, so his priest is there, but his mage was killed. You guys killed the mage after he time stopped for you.
Yeah.
The king does have not only a high-level mage right at his side, but on the other side of him, he has what looks to be a mage, but is not quite. The person next to him, on the other hand, has a weird sort of stone tablet, and he's poking around on it. And then this is when you notice that on the king's palanquin there's literally a couple of turrets, small barrels, shafts that are pointing around. And Talvo has actually seen this before, and has probably described it to you guys. This is an artificer. Artificery as a field of magic was huge among the dwarves from where Talvo is from. The neighboring kingdom next door to where Talvo grew up was a kingdom whose biggest strength was their artificers. In this part of the world, artificers are almost extinct. It's just not really a super studied line of magic, field of magic.
Yeah, I think we've seen literally one on the ship.
Yeah,
because there was a workshop.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah, you have run into one, but this is a clearly very experienced high level one. Like in this part of the world, in this continent, the only ones that exist are like in the very high end courts of like these dwarven kings. You might find some level of artificers, right? So, and you kind of realize that this guy, yeah, like basically is controlling these like automated turrets and stuff.
Huh. Great. They have an engineer. Awesome.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I've been trying to I've been keeping an eye out for one because I want some cool mechanical contraptions. But
I say, let's befriend this guy, get some cool shit, and then kill him.
Yeah. Okay,
just be friends with him. Wait, he's a dwarf. Yeah, we should kill him.
Yeah. I guess I described that to them, and then I go back in.
Okay. Actually, when you describe that, I want you to roll me a history check. Okay. So, TSM, you actually recognize when he gives you the description of like the one like automaton dude that was leading this elite guard. You actually recognize that because you heard about these things. You actually have heard, they're called the Dwergs Barna, which mean children of the dwarves, and was specifically a whole new race of intelligent, independent automaton created by dwarven artificers like thousands of years ago. And they're kind of a lost technology. Basically, they are, no one knows how to make them anymore. So, like, from where you're from, Talvo, you never saw one, but supposedly the Dwarven Emperor from back home had a couple of them as his bodyguards. And they are, like, they're basically like General Grievous, right? They're like, kind of like, you know.
Oh, God. We're gonna be
you guys want to stage an AI uprising?
Hey, that means it could be.
And also, out of character, they're basically reskinned Warforges.
Yeah, all right. So Talvo would have told
me when
this
I Google
to me.
that right now.
And that in that case, before I go back in, I'd ask him, how able do you think they are to resist like mental magics? AKA, do you know if they're good at wisdom?
Biden blast.
I imagine they would be worse than a high-level magic user.
That's a good and relevant way to express that thought. Is that an accurate, is that included in his 17 roll or is that just conjecture?
I would say it's going to be up to what Talvo interprets from that point.
Well, what I will tell you is I've never met one. I've only heard about them.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, they this
one looks only a glaive, so I don't know.
Yeah, to put in perspective, they were Talvo knew they were exceedingly rare, basically because again they're essentially a new species, right? But they just can't be created or reproduce or anything. So since they were created however many hundreds of years ago, they've been slowly dying, but none have been replaced. So to see one here like this, Talvo would probably know that if this really is what he has heard of, this might be the only one on the whole continent, or one of a couple.
Let's put it this way: if they were so smart or wise, why isn't there more of them?
That's so true. Figure out how to frick, stupid. Okay, I go back in.
Okay. At this point, pleasantries have kind of concluded. The king's titles have been read out. Everyone has bowed down, except for the Jarl, actually. The Jarl has remained seated at his throne.
Interesting.
And King Voltuf gets up stands up. They have lowered the palanquin down, and he stands up and he descends and then walks forward till he's across from the Jarl. And he would say, actually, I don't even remember the Jarl's name. What was it?
Yeah, I don't either.
We could change his name
because he would address him by name. It's Gopt. That's right, Gopt.
Yeah.
So Errol's Gopt, which just means Jarl, and King Voltuf. So Voltuf would descend and then be across from Gopt and say, Gopt, my old friend and cousin, what has happened to the state of your city? Your armies are gone. Not but a token force remains. And I see you are squabbling with your advisors. And Gopt, the Jarl says, like, they were trying to mess with me! More magics! I don't want any more of these magics!
That's an interesting reaction.
And the king kind of just looks at him and gives him an odd look, and then you see the king kind of whispers over to his mage.
Do I have any idea of what he says?
Roll me a perception check. Oh. Yeah, you hear him whispering, and he's like, the king is basically like, see what's going on.
I would like... Okay, so the mage. It's a wizard, right? He has a book? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Set his book on fire.
Yeah. If only I could do that. From here. Alright. Gamble time, because, it's over. The jig is up. Regardless, something is going to happen. I would like to use the suggestion, part of the orb's power. I would like to suggest to the wizard that he agrees with the Jarl's hesitance to get seen. In fact, knowing that the Jarl is going to actually wait. I want to wait until the Jarl denies. Oh no, wait, shit, because he doesn't. I want the mage to try to kill the king. He aligns himself with the Jarl. He doesn't like the king. I want to disintegrate the king.
So you got to make a decision because. You got
because I only have so much more time. I only have.
You were 5 minutes in.
Yeah,
so you suggest that the Jarl is fine.
I could say that, but I think eventually it would have. There's no way, because the king knows him. They're family, right?
Yeah, they're he said cousin, but they're third cousins or whatever. They're just in the same clan or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not brothers.
So they might as well be married.
Yeah, I want. It seems reasonable to align yourself with the Jarl, against the king. The king is doing something terrible. He's messing with the Jarl's PTSD. So I think you should. Kill the king.
Okay.
Is that I don't know if that's a suicidal command. I'm not telling him to kill himself.
It's not literally.
He's a very high level mage. So
it's not literally suicidal. So.
Is it unreasonable? Yes.
I don't think you have time to dip out and confer with us. You just need to do something.
No, yeah, you see Adau's face twitch a little bit because he's like, "Oh, this is a bad idea."
Are we just watching him?
He watched it, but the king is up there, and we aren't that far from Capital. Should we just start flying to Castle North?
I mean, the king's there. Unless there's an army outside of Capital I haven't seen. Anyway, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm watching the funny happen. I'm watching the funny.
So you do the suggestion, and what's the DC on it? It's
17, so it's not particularly high.
All right, I'll roll this one to open. Oh shit! What happened?
This would be so
insane. Technically, this guy has advantage from just his
some artifacts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
well, then it's probably I'm gonna guess.
Okay. Okay. Then.
Wow.
He succeeds.
He thinks for a second. You're right. Wait a minute.
Not only that though. Not only does he succeed, because he rolled a 20, I'm gonna say that he immediately realizes something happened. I guess technically they might anyways, but like he definitely immediately realizes like something just happened. Like he was starting to walk forward.
I think you do know.
Yeah. He was starting to walk forward, and then he was like, "Oh, because he hears your voice, I guess, right? Because like he has to be able to hear it." So
I would have tried to. I would not be speaking normally because I know like this is very high stakes. I would try to mask my voice in some way. I don't know how good that is.
Roll me a
your Christian Bale Batman voice.
Yeah, I guess so. That's average, but he's never met me. So.
Yeah, he hasn't met you. So he will then he immediately stops in his tracks. He was moving forward to like go and talk to the Jarl. He stops in his tracks, and then he immediately casts Detect Magic, and you see him look up at your sensor because that would be outlined in the air.
At this point,
he'd be like, "Oh, there's some sort of divination magic here. I wonder what this could be."
So so unless you can do anything else, he's about to clearly he's about to dispel it.
And no, I want to screaming and shitting his pants and.
True, because he cast the spell.
The Jarl probably does go like, oh god, and then
as soon as I realized it failed, like I'm gonna cut it off.
Okay.
I knew he'd probably be able to see the wisps fading away if he didn't get it in time anyway.
Okay.
But so I'm not going to let him dispel it. I want to get rid of it.
Yeah, you would cut it off. Yeah, and he would probably just barely be able to see it right before.
But now he has his spell slot. You should let him use it.
I should have let. Yeah, we're not fighting him today, hopefully. So
well,
we should go up there today.
Well, I don't know. There could be an army outside of Khaldal.
There could be an army outside, but it's not going to be their full strength army. This is the weakest the main dwarven army is going to be around the King Grey Wall.
100 women and children.
You gotta take care of them.
Yeah, I agree, Hingwis. I agree with you. I was the one who wanted to teleport into the mines to kill Ela.
It's 100 women and children worth the lives of literally all the slaves of the Northern Dwarven Empire.
Well, they're not going to all die if we don't go up there right now.
They're going to continue to be under the Cruel. His nickname is literally the Cruel. Like he might as well be the Terrible.
We can teleport us and Cog and Mohi and Rockheel right into the throne room, and then we could be fighting for the next 3 sessions.
Yes, I'm not suggesting that the 8 of us teleport in. I'm suggesting that we send the castle up to the goddamn city.
With the castle, but we can't teleport.
It'll
take us a day to get there.
We have we're 3/4 of the way there, and it's like a 1 day's journey, so it's a 6-hour flight, but that's a 1 day's journey by foot.
We already know there's a clusterfuck waiting at home. Why are you trying to start more shit?
No, look, I get it. I do in character think that's a good idea, but out of character, I don't want to fight another protracted battle. It's just not fun right now to me. So, if you all got, I can't speak English. It's common. I can't speak common. If you all decide that we want to go up there and we want to kill the king right now, and then the kingdom falls into disarray and we take over, I'm totally okay with that. But I will, that's up to you. I'm not going to...
Look, we have a one... So, okay, I understand out of character you not wanting to do this again, because, I kind of feel the same way. But in character, we have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to stop quite possibly the cruelest king who, basically takes as many slaves as they can physically fit and then some extras. We have the opportunity of a lifetime to cut the head off the snake here. And send the whole thing into disarray.
I will say, because I want to make it clear... I'm not sure I say it's not a good idea either, but I'm just going to remind you that in that room, it's not just...
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, the amount of people you can teleport in...
Level plus us artificer.
I am
it's like our party
that we just teleport ourselves into that room. Although that is not possibly the worst idea that we could have. We could teleport in one person who's invisible and then they just assassinate the king and then we teleport them back. That's an opportunity that we could do. But I was suggesting I was suggesting mostly that we take ourselves and our army and march it up towards Kalpadal. And don't worry about all the dwarves that we have. You know, they're kind of like chained up and whatever. We can just sort of like kind of take care of them.
I guess we could leave them with the Boarman and say, hey, Boarman, you know, they're starving, just walk them back, you know?
Yeah, that's not gonna go... I need to find another Boarman.
Look, it won't be great for these dwarves, but like kind of like I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that's a sacrifice worth like the lives of several tens of thousands of slaves.
I guess the amount of dwarf hours of suffering that is being inflicted right now because of the, you know, several thousands to tens of thousands of slaves is more than these willing combatants would endure over the, you know, little bit of walking they do.
Yeah, like it's 150
every day
dwarves.
Is 7 dwarf days, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, we also, like, by the time we get back, there could be nothing that, you know, everything could be gone that we would be fighting for. Because there's some new force that's aligned themselves with a death cult leader who wants to kill every dragon elf and every lizard folk, and, you know, everything that isn't him with a demon blade, leading centaurs into our town just at will for some reason.
So yes, but like they're literally on a different plane. What the fuck are we supposed to do about that right now?
They're not on a different plane.
Well, I think they are. They're just not on that plane because I specifically said shadow. Here, I'll just fine. I'll commute again. I'll find out.
Okay. More binary plane searching.
Let me pick a number 1 to 4.
Plane searching.
2.
Okay, it doesn't work.
Bruh.
You actually got lucky.
Oh,
I rolled.
Okay, like statistically speaking, it is exactly the same, but I hate that. You know.
Yeah.
All
Perfect
right. Well,
time for the commute not to.
not to
the
work.
first
Yeah.
time you got in the 1 in 4 not to work.
Yeah, it has never happened.
How is it good? I don't understand.
Like,
So
okay,
wait.
so I mean,
Two
we
or
don't
more time-
have to go up
Could
there.
we get 2 people to,
After the
like,
first, you get no answer. So next time it's 50% no matter what. Yeah, I'm not wasting a spell slot for that. You know what I am gonna use? I am gonna do is I'm gonna take one of my diamonds and I'm gonna get the viscera of Hoond,
Yeah.
and I'm going to
It's in a jar right now.
resurrect him.
His brother's in a jar. Okay.
I'll walk away while they deliberate, and I'm gonna go do this. So while I'll let them deliberate, and what that means in real life is I'm gonna go get a drink.
Okay, lads. All right. So, is there a way that we can like have 2 of us be invisible, and we teleport those 2 people in, and then one of them assassinates the king, and then the other one teleports them both back out, or can we send in one person who can't teleport?
One-shot?
I don't know if he'll get one shot. So, like, we would
Yeah, because
need.
that would suck if we go in, then you're not invisible, and then you're fucked.
So, I guess you guys don't really understand what those turrets. I guess you don't even understand what a turret is.
Yeah.
There's a good chance that as soon as you show up, 2 machine guns are going to shoot you in the head.
What's a machine
What the
gun?
fuck is a machine gun?
It's like a crossbow, but really fast, and it shoots just the metal part.
Yeah, by the way, I should say out of character, Talvo, you actually have seen cannons. Like actual cannons. But literally there's like 6 in existence, and they're like great bombards like that dwarves have guarding their canals. Like, but you have seen actual like cannons. That's the only place they exist in back home. Here they don't exist anywhere. But like you've seen shit that like these guys would not understand at all. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, no. Actually, if anything,
Can we build
can
one
we
of
just
those?
teleport in? Can we just teleport in like some dwarven prisoners with like a bunch of fucking fireball beads? Have them just throw them at the ground and then
Now
just
that's
leave.
kind of fucked up, but
Well, what
we
how are you
can't
gonna
do that.
make the prisoners do that?
Yeah,
Is there anyone who
You have
is
to-
there
I don't know,
anyone
command
aboard who would be a
person,
willing sacrifice to chuck like several dozen
It
fireball
doesn't.
beats?
Well, see, the thing is, it doesn't have to be. They don't have to do it themselves. We can just teleport them like throne, and then they throw it in front of the throne. I'm not saying they have to throw it at their feet.
You're cutting out. What?
Yeah.
Okay, but isn't the main problem? Huh? Alright, isn't the main problem that, like, if we send in a dwarf, they won't want to throw these fireball beads?
That's why you use, like, command person or something.
I think that's normally for, like, single order things, like sit or, you know, disarm or, you know.
I don't know. I really don't care. I just want to go home, man.
I mean, how many charges of gash does my axe have?
I don't know how many charges did you regain this morning? Because you expended.
Well, I only used it once. Give me a second here.
Did we long rest at this point?
Yeah, this is in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Literally the first item, and I always forget that. Spells, Gesh, 6 charges, 2d4 recharge every day. So I have all 6 charges of Gesh. So yeah, we could absolutely
it's that you
have...
have...
No.
Yeah, it's that it takes 6 out of your 8 or whatever. So you have, so where it says at the top, where it says spells, DC 20 for all, then you have 8 charges.
Okay, Gesh, hang on, then let me roll 2d4.
Yeah, Gesh costs 6, so you have 2 charges left.
I technically have 2 charges of teleport then, because I have my own spell.
Fine. I will so narrow back up to 8. So you have your full charges for your thing.
Yeah, I can teleport
twice
myself.
The idea then...
So Duncan, you missed the idea of kamikaze bombings, you know?
Yeah, so, okay. So how many fireball beads do we have on our person right now? On our person.
We probably used a lot of them.
You had like 18. I'm gonna say you used like 10 in the battle because you had a bunch of them be thrown around and stuff. So
8 fireballs is still plenty.
And I used 1, didn't I? Yeah.
Well, yeah. So it would be like 9 were used by your troops, and then you used 1, so 10. That's why we get to that number. Yeah.
Okay.
So you have 8 left. 8 fireball beads left. And to be fair, like you used a lot of them, but they were used to good. They were put to good use. Like they definitely helped seal the battle up.
There's no other way to make some sort of like timed explosion happen that we have access to.
There is a spell called delayed fireball.
Blast fireball. Yeah, we don't have it.
But yeah, that wouldn't be something you can do through a bead. So.
Wait, how does your like explosive glip? I don't know, man. Fucking just.
If we're teleporting in, throwing in a bunch of shit, and teleporting out, then the glyph of warning won't work. It'd be way better just for me to sunburst in the middle of them.
No, we're not going. I was thinking maybe we just like send some use.
Yeah, according to Talvo, those weird tubes on the Palanquin can shoot like several bajillion like crossbow bolts per second or something.
Oh.
So we're not doing that. We're not going in. And also they could probably like auto detect us or whatever. I don't know. But
honestly, every throne room on the continent should have forbiddance applied to it, unless they're stupid or something.
They probably also have like anti-us measures, given how like popular.
Yeah. If they're stupid, or if their ruler came back and knows that forbiddance is cast over it and has a phobia of magic.
That's true. Yeah. Wizard, dispel this protective spell for me immediately.
True. He just has a phobia of magic. I love it.
So at this point, like an hour or 2 have gone by because you guys had to like, you had to have Duncan, Adau do a tune to it, then he did scry, and then like he, you had time to discuss.
They're definitely teleporting to us.
So at this point, you guys hear like some yelling from outside in the courtyard of your guys' castle. And what did you say, Logan?
God damn it. There's important suicide bombing conversations going on in here, but we'll have to shelve that.
So you guys all rush over to like the nearest window and look out, and you see that your guys are, a lot of people, some of your guards that were posted up on like your gatehouse are like yelling to each other and pointing down below the castle.
Bruh. I run over.
Yeah.
That's my bargaining chip.
Yeah, you guys run down there and you look over the edge of the wall. And what you see is a bit of chaos, as there is a scuffle clearly has broken out. You see blood on the snowy ground, where there is a dwarf, one of the prisoners, lying there, not dead, but like gored a good bit by a tusk, and a Boarman, like enraged, trying to lunge at him, being held back by a bunch of other Boarmen.
Yeah, I can
How far up are we? Are we like close to the ground?
We're probably like 100 feet up, like.
Okay, I guess I'll feather fall or something, or climb down.
You have your carpet or Talvo's carpet.
I can literally fly you down, or we can all ride on the carpet.
Oh. Yeah. So you guys can get down there, and one of the Boarmen kind of. You guys actually recognize the Boarman here that was involved in this scuffle. That's being held back by his kin.
This Boarman involved goring.
Yeah, you see that this Boarman is called Foom. And Foom is a.
I've heard that name.
The what?
I've heard that name before.
Yeah. Well, I think
I think it was a shout in Skyrim.
No. I've heard that here, but it was a shout. You're right.
I might have had a similar name but yeah, this would be maybe. Yeah, I don't think it's the same one. Okay. But either way, this Boarman Foom, he is. You guys actually know him because he's one of the larger and much more experienced warriors of this Boarman group that allied with you guys, and he's one of the kind of higher up ones. But he's being held back by his own men here. And yeah, the other Boarmen are like calm down, Foom, calm down. And you guys can kind of walk up and see what's going on. What do you do?
I'd walk up to Foom. Hey, Foom, what's going on, buddy? You seem a little upset.
He looks at you and he's like, I know the prisoners are your leverage, but let me kill that one. His life is meaningless.
What did he do?
And the dwarf
dude
calls
looks
out.
Half dead already.
The dwarf calls out, and the dwarf is like I said, he got it seems like Foom charged him and got a tusk into his side. The dwarf looks like he'll probably live, but he's hurt. And the dwarf actually calls out. The dwarf would actually call out and say, let that fucker at me.
All right.
They'll turn around and say, are you sure that's what you want?
Like, do you see?
He's a dwarf. Of course, he's fucking sure that's what he wants.
And Foom is like, let me at him.
Does he knows, what did he do?
And you definitely see that a bunch of the other Dwarven prisoners are they're uneasy. They're trying to shield their downed dwarf. Foom looks at you.
I want to grab one Dwarven prisoner and one Boarman and just have him do the cop thing where you take him over to the corner hey, can you guys tell me what happened here? One that comes from
I agree with that.
Okay, yeah, you pull a couple random dudes for each side. The dwarf and the Boarman will look at each other and look at you and the dwarf is like I don't know, man, they were just we were just trying to
get zone of truth.
The dwarf is he's like yeah, I don't know, we were just going and then he roared that brute of a Boarman there, and the Boarman next to was like that brute of a Boarman there, he just charged him out of nowhere.
Is he telling the truth?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Boarman says.
So then the Boarman says, "This is true, but I know what happened. I didn't realize it. But that dwarf, he's one of the ones who was with the group of dwarves who raided our home when they destroyed it and kicked us from our clan's homeland on the hills here. Specifically, okay. And then." Foom is kind of been held. He's close enough that he hears this, and he's like, not only he didn't just do that. He killed my beloved.
That one specifically, that particular one right there.
And Foom nods, and you see pure rage in his eyes.
I would look over to Adau, hey, I would argue that 249.
Is just as good as 250.
As good as 250.
Yeah. Here, I got an idea. We got to make this fair, right? We got to make it fair. We got to make it just. Okay.
Yeah, let's let him honor duel.
Yes, that's what I was gonna do. So I'm gonna walk back. I'm gonna say, okay, boys, dwarves. I want all of you surrounding him. Move. Get out of the way.
They stand firm. They don't move.
They stand firm.
And they're all unarmed, but they still they lock arms, and they're like, hey, he didn't get a fair shot.
And I'm gonna give him a fair shot. Now get the fuck out of the way.
Hail him to full.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, guys, I got like 1,000 other things important than this. We're gonna heal your guy. We're gonna let the two of these fight, and whoever wins, wins. And we're all just gonna get on with our day. Can we be okay with that?
The dwarves look back They look back at the one on the ground that was half gored, and the guy kind of grunts, and you can tell he kind of doesn't want to do this. Like he knows he can't really win.
Oh,
I'm gonna give you a pike, dude. I'm gonna give you a pike.
So you think your guy's a pussy, huh?
He's like, let me at him. I already beat him down in combat once before. And Foom has to be held back at this remark. Foom's like, let me at him.
You see it? He wants to fight.
See, guys? See,
they want to fight.
Maybe
to fight. So
maybe your guy's arrogant. Maybe he's not. But we're not gonna have this. And so that's do they move?
Yeah, they'll move aside now.
Okay, I'm gonna use my shield. My precious shield charges to give him. He probably doesn't have that many hit points. Does he have 26?
That's enough
missing?
to get him to full.
Okay.
It'd be crazy if Boom did 26 points of damage to him.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, dude. I don't know. I'm gonna get a fine steel weapon, a good one that he is familiar with.
Okay. So you wanted to actually be fair, basically,
Yeah, I mean, I kind of
because we know he's gonna win.
I'm expecting it's not gonna I'm expecting he is outmatched, but I want to give him, something.
Okay. And then I'm assuming you offer, or like Foom has his own weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, hey Foom, do you need anything for this to be? He's he's literally still trying to murder this guy, and I'm Foom, like, hey man, are you ready? Are you ready?
At this point, he's calmed down a little
bit.
It's
like hyping up a dog.
At this point, he's calmed down a little bit because he realizes he's gonna get a chance, right? So he kind of lets you do this, and even though he's blinded by rage to a good extent, he does kind of. He stands back, and then he actually takes his weapon out. He has a big great axe, and he literally throws it to the side. And then he holds up his hands, which Boarman hands have claws on them. And he has his tusks, and he takes a claw and kind of shing, shing. And he says, I have everything I need here.
Okay. So, I want to say before we do that.
Bree yeah, for sure. You can make thorny bushes around them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come to the octagon.
Right. I want to just ensure that everyone here, dwarf, boarman, whatever you are, whatever creed, whatever side you're on, you will all respect the outcome of this fight, or we will beat you.
I would nudge Bree, hey, you should go take bets.
Take bets from the yeah. If you want to do that, our men, they like a good blood sport fight, I guess. But
what with the other guys?
Does Bree want to do that?
I feel like Bree has already done it.
You look over to Bree, hey, you should make some money out of this. And she's what's up with a bag of money already?
Bree starts shouting out, it's like, all right, get your bets in, and then you got Munkus on one, or sorry, you have Blunkus and Funkus. Are each of them is taking bets for one side or the other. Blunkus is taking all the bets on the Boarman, Funkus is taking all the bets on the dwarf, and then they're all passing the money to Munkus, who's counting it out, and he's a little notebook, and he's like, okay, this how much? Yeah, and so it's a whole operation, and yeah.
All right.
Get your hot dog. Wait, these guys are Boarman. We probably shouldn't sell hot dogs.
They're beef hot dogs.
Yeah.
No, beef hot dogs.
The elk hot dogs. Yeah. Yeah, so you guys, after a few minutes, and at this point, a bunch of the castle is lowered down as far as it can go, and there's
it's
people
actually
crowded.
angled down, so everyone gets a stadium seating view, no matter where they are.
Yeah.
People on the keeper and the nosebleeds.
Yeah.
But no, on a more serious note,
you could have the genie use major image Jumbotron this fight for people in the castle.
Fuck, that's true. So bad.
Okay. Well, you know, we can make this a spectacle. And it kind of is one.
We need a little bit of levity after the last couple of days.
Yeah, it's you know, if
it's like we were just talking about suicide bombing, you know.
In the drink before session, I have a little moral quandary.
Bread and circus, man. Bread and circus.
Yeah. But the Boarman must understand, if somehow this dwarf wins, that, you know, he wins. That's it, you know? He was a warrior. That's how it goes sometimes. Now, maybe he wasn't a warrior back then. He was a little baby bitch pussy who killed a civilian, and he deserves to lose the fight. But if he doesn't lose the fight, then he doesn't lose the fight, you know?
Well, to be fair, it was only like 6 months ago that this raid
Either
happened.
way, the Boarman win because he died in honor.
Yeah, no, I understand. I get it.
See, as far as Boarmen go, the kind of real recognizes real. That's kind of like the whole society thing.
These guys, I would see that.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Fuck you, you win." Yeah.
The Boarmen, most of them not in agreement. There's a couple that you can see aren't really on board. Like, there's a few of them that basically you can sense, even without an insight roll, you can sense that a few of the Boarmen have the mindset of like, they're our prisoners. We should just fucking murder them anyways. Like, if we want to. Like basically, you know, some of the Boarmen here, they don't all necessarily share the same kind of views on like getting rid of slavery,
civility,
you know, and stuff like that. Some of them are like, yeah, they're our war slaves, like whatever, like they're property now, which is something that you guys don't think clearly, but the Boarmen aren't necessarily all on board with your guys' ideals yet.
Yeah,
they're your allies. They're your allies, but they're not like part of your group, right? So
yeah. Well, I mean, you guys, I appreciate that the Boarmen are helping us bring the prisoners back, but we took them. They're our prisoners. We took them before you even got here.
You are guests in this house. They are not
you will exactly. We're gonna eat dinner, and you're not gonna eat any dinner. That's how it goes. And hey, if negotiations fall through, then I can't guarantee their safety. You know, I can, but you know, like you know what I'm, you know. They kind of. I hope they get what I'm saying. You know,
definitely seems
what I'm putting down.
Yeah. Well, Helios. Yeah. So Helios gives them an angry look and stuff. I'd say it seems like most of the Boarmen are going to fall in line with this, right?
That's the thing is, I'm like a tiny Boarman. I'm giving like they probably like respect me a little bit because like I'm like in charge, but I'm also definitely not the picturesque Boarman like Block or Kerblock.
But yeah, so at this point, you guys do get the
thanks, Adau.
You get this kind of like little arena set up.
No, I mean Lady Intimidation.
Yeah,
and they are like they both step forward. You know, they're about maybe 30 feet apart, and then Bree makes this big plant growth ring of thorn bushes around them. And then projects the image of the fight as well. I guess the screen above. Helios gives a rousing song. Do you try to make it neutral, or do you like make your allegiance?
No, I play the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
Do you play like their entrance music for each of them? Like
a
wrestling match?
Okay. So I'll re-roll it. Okay, so if I roll a 1, Boarman goes first. Okay, so Dwarf goes first, and then Boarman. Oh,
okay. So Helios is trying not to play favorites. He ends up going too far, and now it looks like he's playing favorites for the Dwarf. Yeah.
I look up like I'm hyping him up.
So they step forward, and after a bit of preparation, the Dwarf has like a pike or something that he would have asked for that to try and like impale him while he's charging. And they both kind of step.
Going to do for him, but
they step forward. They get enclosed by thorn bushes, and they kind of are looking at each other and waiting for one of you to give the word to start.
Yeah, Talvo will walk in. He's wearing a striped shirt. He's refereeing this match.
Okay.
All right. I'm not gonna say I want a clean fight because one of you is gonna die. But
so wait, guys,
we got shit to do today, so if you make it quick, that would be appreciated.
I'm telepathically, guys. Should I revive? Should I promise to revive whoever loses?
No, not yet.
No.
Well, I can't do it after the fight because then that would be like favorites.
Not doing that.
Okay, I just won't do it. I'm not reviving you guys, by the way. This is permanently dead.
All right, on the count of 3.
The Boarman Foom said,
2, 1. Fight.
Okay, and they kind of start circling each other, right? Like they're both looking for an opening. At one point, the Boarman kind of like lunges forward a little bit. Then the dwarf jabs at him with the pike and misses, but the Boarman doesn't get an opening either, so he kind of has to fall back. And they kind of circle around for about 20-30 seconds, and you know, nothing really happening.
Wait, can I detect thoughts on the dwarf and see if he's scared?
Sure, yeah. I mean, you could do that, yeah. The dwarf seems, he's definitely scared, yeah. But if anything, he seems more just, like, hateful.
Oh.
Adau, can I have the orb?
Here you go.
Thanks.
I would have unattuned to that, like, immediately after scrying. Because I need my belt.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll watch whilst the tuning.
Okay. And yeah, so they're kind of circling around each other. At which point, after a few seconds of this, it seems like it might be kind of like a more protracted engagement where they're going to be kind of like just whittling each other down. But then something happens. The dwarf calls out. He kind of stops circling. He's still holding his pike out at the ready, but he calls out and he says, "Do you want to know what I did when we scared you and your kin off?"
Oh, he's dying.
And the Boarman, like, just pauses and just looks and doesn't say a word. And the dwarf says, "I shit on your wife's corpse." And when he says that, Foom just goes, "Rah!" just lunges forward. And you see that the dwarf was waiting for this, obviously. The dwarf lunges forward, stabs Foom, but doesn't get a fully clean hit. It hits him pretty nastily, but Foom just keeps charging. The pike snaps in half, and then Foom, within a split second, is there, and you just hear... and you see two tusks protrude from the dwarf's back.
Expected outcome.
Huge.
And
Yeah.
Like I like how, like, yeah, Helios and Bree are like, yeah, well, and they just everyone just turns around, yeah, and yeah, no, the like Foom just kind of like Foom then just rips the dwarf off his tusk and just like starts tearing at his flesh. The guy's already dead, but Foom just goes to town, and you can see that Foom is bleeding pretty heavily from his side. Not enough to be lethal, but like he's probably gonna need serious treatment from this.
I'll give it. Well, after he leaves the ring and we leave the corpse,
yeah,
I'll give him a little healing.
Yeah, and so yeah, a few minutes later, when he's done letting out his bloodlust rage, then yeah, everyone, the prisoners, the dwarves look a little more fearful after this. Like they're like, oh fuck, like okay, like some of them do look like they're expecting you to like revive the dwarf, but it sounds like you don't.
And there you have it,
what he said. Maybe if he was remorseful. Yeah, honestly.
I think the takeaway, prisoners, Boarman, people in the castle, I think everyone should, the takeaway here is talk shit, get hit is kind of how we run things around here.
Talk shit, get hit, don't shit on each other's wives.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick, or, you get to part in front of all your friends.
Yeah.
Talk shit, don't shit.
That's a good question, Britsha, but no, he doesn't. He just rips it apart, so... There's not much of a corpse left of him. But yeah, so eventually though the dwarves, like the rest of the Boarmen are satisfied. They're like, yeah, well, the Boarmen are satisfied with this outcome. And
who wins the betting?
Yeah, you can heal up Foom's wounds. He actually tells you though, Adau, when you come up to him, he says he basically tells you, he's like, don't waste too much magic on me. I want this scar to remember this day.
Respect. I'll give him. Hey, you know what, man? I'll just do some traditional medicine on you. Go see my clerics.
Okay, yeah.
You'll have the scar and you'll feel good.
Take a dip in the water, brush it out, throw some dirt on it.
Yeah. So yeah, they'll take care of that.
And it's 1000 AD.
But yeah, so he. Anyways, though and with after a few minutes, then everything is packed up and you guys are on the move again. And the dwarves definitely... Well, both the dwarves and the Boarmen seem to fall in line a little more after this.
Adau, while I'm here attuning to this goddamn fucking orb, could you maybe take this... don't ask why I only have the hand. Could you take this hand of the wizard, of the dwarven wizard, and, like, maybe resurrect him?
What?
Can you go resurrect the dwarf wizard? But make sure.
Adau instantaneously recognizes all of the things that we talked about. Oh, of course you want to resurrect him and then gash him and then use him as a weapon. Of course.
And then maybe. Okay. Cool. We have his book and his casting whatever, but they're in a room that he doesn't need to know about. So
we took his book and stuff.
Just be a guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can do that, but I can't do it. Well, I can do it today, actually. But first, we need to see about that other resurrection.
Yeah.
Not true.
Yeah, well, so with Hoon, you know that you're going to have to do what you did with Hingwis's father as well, where you have to do greater restoration, pretty much at the same time.
The body.
Yeah. I don't even remember what greater restoration costs, but yeah,
it is a diamond dust worth 100 GP.
Okay.
So we have for some reason some gems that aren't worth any one of those values. So I would grind those up, I guess.
Into a combination. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll say you make 10 gold from being the commission, the cut that you made.
Dude.
But yeah, so you're able to you could definitely do this where you greater restoration this jar of Hingwis's brother, and then you resurrect again. As you said before, you resurrect him. I don't remember how long does that spell take? Is it just
I think it's an hour.
Okay, it's an hour. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So this would be while you guys are traveling, back on the road after this showdown. You do this, and you, it's actually a pretty Hingwis. I don't know if you would want to watch it, but because basically, there's little bits of the body that kind of start forming up and then growing into existence,
I watched it with my dad, and it was already really gross and horrifying when he looked mostly fine. Yeah. So I do not want to see what it looks like when you turn entity soup into a person again.
Yeah, and it's definitely pretty gruesome. But you've practiced medicine.
Does their head form last or halfway through this? At what point do they feel the pain of regeneration? Because this cannot be a peaceful process.
I think it would only be the end.
It says that they only become alive at the very end of the casting.
Thank God, because that would be awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they
let alone dying and then
so you probably would have a big tent set up because it's he's a hill giant. You have a whole major you have a whole area set up, and the body starts forming, and over the course of an hour, it's pretty gruesome as it just grows in with the little chunks you did have left, kind of just getting sucked into place and stuff. It's a pretty weird process.
Probably a good thing Adau didn't eat most of his breakfast, huh?
Yeah. Well, do you think doctors get nauseated by seeing open wounds? Probably not.
What happens if you're eating a hot dog and you drip ketchup into the thing while you're regenerating?
I'm eating while performing surgery.
So you
it's the same deal. Yeah, oops, I left a fork there.
But
shit, my matzo ball soup.
But so after this hour-long process, then there's a fully formed hill giant in front of you, who. You kind of as you reach the end of the process, probably have a few people come up and throw ropes over him because you're not sure how he's going to react. And he's a fucking hill giant, right?
Do clothes regenerate too?
No, you just throw a cloth over him. And you'd have some sort of restraints and probably a whole team of people ready to hold him down. And
I'll just put some immovable rod over his neck and over his stomach.
Okay, and I'm sure you guys have those. And so,
I'll also just be on standby to maybe panache it.
Okay, I got you.
Right. We have dominate person and hold monster and stuff like that.
Yeah, but this doesn't cost a spell slot.
That's true.
Yeah. So after the process,
God damn, I never used the feature.
There's a split second where his eyes are closed. You see twitching in his lips. And then he looks up and goes, but the immovable rod's kind of hold him. He's he literally takes one of them, and you hear creaking as he is trying to rip it away from his neck or chest. And he immovable rods can withstand a lot, but He's given it his all. At this point, Hingwis, you hear him, and I'm assuming would maybe rush in. And
I was just like, wait, shit, they did it. Fuck, shit.
I was like yelling,
I'm like shoving people out of the way.
Stop!
I'll be, hey, morning, Foom. How we feeling today, buddy?
Wrong guy.
Yeah.
Like Hund, but with an O.
Dog in German.
With my honeyed words.
Yeah, you're like, hey, buddy, and then like Hingwis is like, hoon. Yeah, and you do get his attention. Nothing works except for Hingwis being there, and he looks over Hingwis, and he's like, brother, am I safe?
Hoon? Yes. The vampires are gone. The dwarves are. It's weird. We're working on it. But you are completely safe. You will no longer be a prisoner of them.
I had a nightmare that I was helping to fling boulders at a flying castle.
That's crazy.
I'll never guess where you are right now.
That was the nightmare? Okay.
Well, yeah, that wasn't ideal. We can talk about that another time. But right now, and I will click the immovable rods off of them. Right now, I think that you and I just need to have a chat and catch up on everything that's gone on right now. Which is, out of character, I also want to go get a beverage, so I will return.
Yeah, that's fair. He would basically just, slowly sit up, and he would be calm now. He would, say hi to all of you, be grateful for, being saved, and then he's very confused, but him and Hingwis would, basically take a stroll, which means that he can't really. There's not much room to take a stroll in the castle, but they
walk on the palace.
Yeah, they probably go down on the ground and just go and for a walk and catch up. So, but no one was hurt. Yeah, the movable rods was smart because otherwise you might have more trouble. But
yeah, well, okay. We have one of many resurrections done. Although the other ones are kind of raised dead. In fact, I used my 5th level spell slots, and I might need the other ones. I have 10 days, so I'll wait to do more.
Okay.
I want to sending stone to Shima.
Okay.
And be like, what have you found, brother? In your investigation.
He would say, so after a moment you would receive back, he would say, the most recent discovery was that the underground chamber with that orb of energy is sealed off.
Sick. Cool.
Me when the universe itself wants us to lose. Well, Talvo, I don't have a sending stone to anyone over there. And Helios, could you send to whatever officer we left in charge of the city and ask them to open that, please?
Are you sure?
I mean, yeah, we left a sizable contingent of people there, and all the Boarman. Not all, but
we get home.
We could do that, I guess.
I don't really want him to crack open a boss monster while we're not there.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe just post some guards, just in case it decides it wants to wake up before we're ready to. Keep an eye on it.
What NPCs did we leave? Did we leave any? Named people?
You had also Shima the Ronin, he's still not at full capacity, but he's pretty strong. You had the one remaining half giant or greater giant, Bjora, but he's not really
Bjora, yeah.
Yeah, he's mainly there to he basically just offered some magical healing and support magics and stuff if it became necessary.
Yeah, and of course Hatefather's there, so that's a pretty...
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So you have some people who are fairly knowledgeable in different, realms, so...
Okay. Well, neither of them have true seeing, or any scrying spell. I can scry on that room though. Let me try that, or let me ask Hingwis to try that. Because we've been there, and when it's a place.
Yep, you can do a specific location that you. I don't know if you have to have been there or seen it, but either way, you have. So, okay, yeah, you guys can. I mean, yeah, you know, Hingwis could just pass it back to you. Like, you guys have a couple days, so you're gonna be back at Robiger.
Yeah. So. Well, Hingwis is already attuning to it, so I'll just ask him.
Okay.
Whenever he's done catching Hoond up for the first bit. Because I'm sure Hoond wants to eat food again instead of human or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, we can just have Shot do it really quick while we're...
Can Shot scry it for us?
Yeah, well, he just has scrying too, yeah. Like, he just has normal scrying.
I mean, yeah, then we can... Yeah, I'll ask him.
Okay, yeah, Shot can do it, and he'll just describe to you what he sees. So, Shot would sit down, and he would... Well, the way I always describe scrying is that it's like your eyes roll back in your head whenever your senses are being cast to that other location. And so his eyes roll back in his head, but he can still hear you guys when you're talking, and he can still speak to. Actually, I don't know if he can hear you guys at the same time. But either way, he can speak. And so he would just scry, and you see his brow furrows, and he's like, "There are belongings here. The room is sealed."
Holy shit! You can actually scry and see something for once. Oh my god!
No way.
So yeah, his eyes,
fucking mad shit.
His eyebrows furrow, and he's like, the chamber is sealed. The orb is mostly inactive, very small, smaller than we've seen it before.
Oh my god! Sorry.
No, you're good. And he says,
God?
He says the stone walls have filled in the entrances. There are belongings on the ground. A couple of packs strewn about, a couple of sleeping pads, but no creatures. I see... And he kind of, like, squints, like, you know, even in this, like, he's squinting, clearly trying to, like, focus on whatever he's seeing with his eyes rolled back in his head. He's like, on the ground there are scatterings of some sort of gemstone. Amethyst, maybe? Chunks of it, huge chunks. As if a geode or deposit of it had shattered. The whole floor is covered with it. But there's no creatures. And then he would kind of roll back his eyes forward and be
There's a warden! Big blue thing. Okay. Well, we'll be there in a few days, I guess. Unless we want to teleport over there.
Hey guys, just came back. So Hoon's chill now. He's much calmer. We talked about the scenario. It wasn't great. But no, he really just wants to see a father. So he's gonna go relax and cry a little bit. But anyways, so what did I miss? What are we?
Not a bad idea. Can we? Like, there's not really any specific need for us to be on this cat, because like we just teleport like us back to Ruler.
I mean, we can.
And we have two people who can cast teleport, right?
We have one person who can cast teleport twice.
Yeah, Helios can.
And
yeah, so I can cast it once in the house, once in the hat, and once per spell.
Okay. Yeah.
So I can be like the in-out person.
Yeah.
Oh, transport via plants can also bring us all.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Bree would know lots of the plants there in town, and you have one in your castle that Bree uses, so...
Yeah.
the tree Hingwis truck into?
Yes, yeah. So, okay. We've got 28... no. 1 day later. So it's 250. I'm doing the teleportation circle increment.
Mm-hmm.
82.
So yeah, we could... This is like the chicken and the fox and the rice grain. So we could teleport, and Helios could teleport, and then Bree comes with, and then Bree could Helios back to the castle with plant and then teleport their 8 people, right?
Well, no. So transport via plant, it's just all of us are ready to go, and in one round, and then Bree opens the door in the plant, and we all go through.
Yeah, it just like opens up a door for like a door frame for like for 6 seconds, and so however many people can like rush in there can. You know.
It's like a New York,
which is theoretically an infinite amount because it's one round. Yeah.
Get someone to hold the door open, and then just like go.
Yeah, so the duration is 1 round. So yeah, so then you guys could all make it through, plus a few other NPCs, like for sure. If Bree does.
So what's going on?
We're thinking about teleporting back to the town.
Hey, like, is there a specific need for it?
Oh yeah, he doesn't know about the stuff.
He doesn't.
From someone who was listening, Chad, he doesn't know. From someone who was listening for the entire thing instead of just for the amethyst on the ground and the packs and the rock walls, tell the rest of the story.
Like, might have spawned a boss monster or something.
So they had shot scry, because you can scry on a location, like not just a person. You could just do a specific location. They had shot scry the room where that orb of energy is, and in there was a bunch of like strewn about packs, like traveling packs and traveling supplies. No creatures. The walls, like the entrance tunnels into the place, had all been sealed off by stone growths. And there was scatterings, like big chunks of amethyst strewn about the floor. And the orb was small and inactive.
So it's been used. Someone went invisible with it. Are you teleporting directly into that room or just back to Rolio?
Back to Rolio. We have to come out.
Yeah,
we have to come back.
Yeah.
We have to come out. Yeah, I have to come out at a plant.
Yeah, if you want to use the tree method at least, which is probably I think that's 1 level lower than teleport, so it lets you keep a higher level spell.
Well, actually, if he just uses it off his hat, though, it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, but if you wanted to use it for something else, like teleport is a little better because it's not limited to just plants, right? It's like,
and we do maybe want to have Bree keep the big spell slot. I don't know. I think we should just go home and figure out what the fuck's happening.
Yeah.
Before we come back to
the
a
longer we let
ruin.
this happen.
okay.
Before we all do all of that, I would like to see if I can scry the Jarl, like, real quick with the hour I've been attuning to the orb.
Okay. Yeah, you would have been done by now. Yeah, So, okay. Yeah, you can scry the Jarl. I'm gonna roll for him. He fails, so you get to see him.
Oh boy! All right.
Yeah, your little sensor pops into existence in his. He's not in his throne room anymore. He's in like a private meeting room, talking to King Voltooth.
You telling me that dumb mage didn't put up any protections after getting scryed once?
Well, so I was going to say that as soon as you see this, though, you hear the mage say, "We're being watched again."
Okay.
The what?
I'll cut it. Like, I'll shut it off. I just needed to see the scenario.
Yeah, you do get a glimpse. So to paint a picture, it was basically just a private war meeting going on. Like, actually, roll me a perception check. Let's see how much you were able to perceive in this split second before you cut it off.
Hey.
Pretty good. In fact, I will say, you were. I mean, it was more than just a split second. It was like a couple seconds before the mage realized what was happening and called this out. So you had a few seconds to kind of take things in. It was all of the kind of big players, the big figures that I had mentioned before, like the king, the jarl, his high priest, the high mage, the artificer, the automaton, the warforged. Right. I have a special in-game name for them, but that's basically what they are, warforged. And a couple other like high-ranking officials and stuff. But so they were all surrounding a like war table, right? And on the war table was a map with like little like figures, right, to represent armies. And you do notice you did have a chance to notice in that split second, there was a large force at Kalpadal.
Okay. Good. Up idea time. This will take time because we will need to resurrect the mage. But my long-term plan is next time I can see that they're all together and we have the mage guest for at least a year. We're going to send him in. He's going to time stop. He's going to lay all the fireball beads at the king's feet, and then he's going to come back.
I guess, you throw it and then, or you leave it and it. I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
actually.
he'll leave it. He'll like touch it, like to activate it, but it's like an item that he owns.
And it's currently exploding, but the fire hasn't reached the king yet, so he hasn't been harmed. I like that.
Yeah, and then he leaves, and then time unstops, and then the king just explodes instantly. So yeah, that's the idea. So we'll need to get the wizard alive and gashed, preferably for a year. But yeah, okay, all right. So Rolliger, we're going straight there. We're teleporting. Oh, also they.
Oh yeah.
Also, they have a fat army at Kalpadal, so they could launch a second invasion of us, like at any time.
But what about second invasion? When we crush this one, which it'll
my
be
point being
harder.
that we should leave some people along the trail. Talvo, you should leave some of your finer men along the trail to double check for if they send another army down.
I mean, I'll do that, but my guys, historically, fucking suck.
I mean, fair, but aren't they the ones who informed us the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah, they at least did that, right? So.
God. Thieves, man. Yeah. Something about honor amongst them, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so it sounds
to be fair,
you...
aside from the ones that are like literally my crewmates, most of them were just bugs in Pune that like their leader and was like, okay, I'm smarter and stronger than that guy. I'm your boss now. And they're like, sure, whatever.
All right,
shit. So
as long as I'm getting paid, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. So I think you guys would then, it sounds like you guys would then go use Bree's ability to go through plants, and with yourselves plus a few other NPCs, you would go zoop, pop out in Rolliger.
Specifically, Aya is going to stay at the castle.
Okay, got it, yeah. Yeah, I'm assuming the people with you would be like a few like Mohi and Feyor and Rakil and maybe like Cog as well. Yeah. You could definitely bring a few NPCs with you. So you guys would pop out back at Kalpadal. Or sorry, Rolliger, not Kalpadal. That'd be bad if I thought, yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, in Rolliger, you guys pop out and pop out of a tree, and some of those people who are like, like milling about doing whatever business, and they're like, oh god, like, and then they realize it's you, and they're like, oh, you guys, and quickly a little crowd conglomerates around you guys of people wanting to know what's going on. They're like, how did the battle go? Like, is this person safe? All this stuff, and Cog actually kind of has to be like, get out of the way! It's like they basically has to get everyone to part. And
the
you
battle
guys
was good, everyone.
Yeah,
we're all safe.
We're gonna go up to the lectern.
Yeah, and so but Cog will make sure that everyone is falls in line and doesn't swarm you guys because he knows you guys have business. So you guys would be able to do whatever you want to do. Are you gonna go straight to that below grounds area?
No,
first we're gonna
recap.
Yeah, we're gonna tell everyone what happened.
Okay,
we're gonna go up to we'll be like, we annihilated them in battle. We had a few dozen casualties to their 600 dead, and all of those who died, I will personally revive, should their souls be willing to reunite with their bodies. We have fine dwarven steel and armor on the way, and a sizable contingent of prisoners who will be staying here as sort of leverage to be used against the dwarves. There are more battles to come, unfortunately, but we will, as we have done so far, weather them all.
And there's a cheer at that point.
The cowards didn't even make it to the crossroads.
They did not.
Were not breached.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, and they would there would be a cheer at that. So, and yeah,
we have some new friends coming.
Oh yes,
a lot of women and children.
Yeah, they tried to. Those barbaric pieces of shit brought out 100 starved, beaten women and children that they were being held as slaves, and they were going to kill them all if we did not release the Jarl to them.
So of course,
yeah. So of course we did.
We're bringing back 100 women, and I'm like, yeah, and children, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like we're only taking like from the slave caravans. They're not just men. It's families and stuff. But you're right. I mean, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's why we fight. That's why we're doing what we're doing, so that those despicable slave holding pieces of frickin' heck can't do it anymore. So anyway, we'll have some new faces around here in a few days' time.
Also, there will be a lot of should we mention all of the dwarves coming in? Should we? Or should we?
We should, because they should start building the cells now.
You say all that out loud.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the fact that there's another verse at Capital. I'd say let them have the win for right now. Don't let them know that.
No, yeah, I'm not mentioning the force. I'm just saying, should I privately gather a few casters to make prisons for all the dwarves coming in, or should I announce that publicly?
No, absolutely do that. I told them we were bringing back prisoners.
Okay, shit.
So yes, we should definitely have them start holding cells.
So we will need the best amongst you who can make stronger walls even than last time to ensure that not a single one of these goddamn dwarves escape. Or purple dragon bedamned dwarves escape.
Yeah, exactly.
And I quickly glance over to Adau.
Adau excitedly nods.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would love it if there was no more escaped prisoners.
Yeah, you see the
towering down whoever was in charge.
Yeah, I was gonna say the jail warden is is sitting there in the corner, and a couple of his buddies pat his back. They're like, "It's okay, you did your best, buddy." And
well, when invisible centaurs roll up, and then it turned the people who are leaving invisible, I can kind of understand the mundane level 0 jail warden not getting it.
They dug a hole.
Also that, that's kind of ridiculous.
So yeah,
semantics.
At this point, everything kind of starts dispersing.
They were invisible in the hole.
Biora, the big half-giant dude who's been kind of sticking around here, helping out, he would actually come to you guys, and he's like, I hear that, I heard a rumor that apparently there might be some sort of magic suspected at play here.
Yeah, that damn orb.
He nods and he's like,
I hate that thing, man.
He nods and he looks at you and he's like, I tend to try to avoid such sources of power, wellsprings and the like, but I feel like it might be prudent for me to take a look at it with you all.
Yeah, I very much appreciate that.
Appreciated.
Yeah.
He
also then kind of leans in. He's like, by the way, I did take a look at the tunnels, the evidence of tunnels from where the prisoners escaped. I don't think it was normal means that dug the earth. Some creature was with them that can dig through earth like it's water. A few creatures exist that I know of, but I'm not sure which.
Well, there's the purple worm.
Did it seem like one of those fucking antlion
things?
Ankegs, yeah.
He shakes his head. He's like, no, it was something more intelligent. But I'm not sure exactly what. Just be warned that there might be more tunnels like this if they have such a creature working with them.
Cool.
Let me guess the Ankeg and then have it just dig random, basically make a labyrinth and just confuse them.
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. But so do you guys then head down to this?
Yeah, I'm gonna head down with. Actually, no. Yeah, let's head down.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, you guys know the way. Well, at least Bree does now because Bree memorizes things once she goes away once. So Bree can
We've had
easily...
to fuck with this thing so many times.
Yeah,
I'm sure
probably
we've marked the path.
Probably multiple of you know. Helios and Hingwis are probably like, because they had that whole experience of getting yeeted to the other dimension. But
right, third hole on the left. You want to take the down ramp? Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys make it down there. It's not that
Talvo
far.
also just doesn't like being underground anymore.
Yeah. Or so it's a good ways down, but once you know the way directly there, it doesn't take too long. So you guys make it down through the tunnel system here. And when you do get there, you do see that the tunnel that enters into the place is sealed off by stone. If you had to guess, about 10 feet of it, maybe.
Here, go ahead, quick hit him with a molder.
Detect life or whatever.
Detect life?
Normally detect creatures or whatever is blocked by stone. Like, amount, so.
Oh, honed.
Yeah, but
I don't. My spell only locates a specific creature.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
what did we use to find oof? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I did that at the mountain, but obviously, wait a minute. No, it's blocked by running water. That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. It's described or is in a different form, like being polymorphed. Yeah, no, it's okay. That one is just running water.
Yeah.
But it didn't work to find oof even when we were at the mountain. Like Poetry said, I didn't see anything. So, and the scrying on him didn't work here, so I assume that whatever happened there is also happening here. Well, we can. I think Bree, can't you? Yeah, you can move.
It's about 10 feet, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll probably have to just start hitting it.
Yeah. Does Bree have anything for that?
I was gonna say if I could detect through it, but it can't detect through 1 foot of stone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see if move off does anything.
Okay.
I think it specifically says no stone, doesn't it?
Oh,
yeah, but there's another spell that you have that I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, that one wouldn't work with natural stone. Yeah.
Couldn't you just wild shape into something that could?
It is stone shape. Yeah, it's literally just called stone shape.
Oh, transmute rock.
Oh, or that. I'm dumb.
Okay, you can transmute rock to mud. Huh.
Wait, are the Pats still here? We were only gone for like an extra 12
hours. Yeah, they would have been here still, yeah.
Okay. I want to purchase like a bestiary compendium if they have such a thing later, I guess.
Yeah. You can do that later, but they for sure have something like that. Okay, yeah. So you could just basically turn this whole section of rock into mud and just goes. Yoop. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Is it magical?
It isn't. No, it was created by magic, but it's not magical on its own. If that makes sense.
So now you could do the other.
You should move all but the last like couple inches of it, so that they don't know that we've necessarily dug a hole, and you can still like see through it to detect.
We can put it back when we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Are we sure that nothing's on the other side there, though, to immediately notice that we've removed this bit of stone?
Well, we're going in.
Okay.
So,
See, the thing you have to understand is that is flowing mud. So either we leave a little veneer of rock on this side and it all flows in there, or we leave the veneer on that side and a 40-foot cube of mud is about to fall into our...
I mean, we can like move out the way though, can't we?
Yeah, you can step back. That's fine.
It's a tunnel.
Yeah. I'm assuming you would just step back and then just let it go, like, and then
Yeah.
Like it's all gonna fall anyways.
And then your boots are gonna get a little dirty, but you're gonna be able to. Yeah, it would spread out and.
Not my boots.
No, I'm gonna hover. Fuck their boots.
Yeah, you have wings. That's true. But yeah, so you guys can then.
I'm gonna crawl along the ceiling.
I immediately slam my head into the ceiling.
There is probably a moment of hesitation or trepidation, or preparedness. Like you're prepared for whatever might come popping out at you, or whatever might be waiting. But as as it all kind of sloshes away, it's silent and you like look in, or move into the room a little bit. You don't see anything except for what was described before. And now that you're here in person, not hearing a description from Shot, yeah, it's quite striking actually. There's a few packs of like traveling goods and stuff on the ground near the orb, like pretty close to it actually. And then only a few, like maybe like 3 or 4 packs, and then a couple like tarps and like stuff like that, and then the whole room. This is like a 40-foot radius room. Like, it's a large cavern. The whole room, the whole floor of it, is covered with scattered pieces of amethyst. You pick some up, and it's like whole gemstones, precious gems of amethyst.
Creature moves through the ground like it's water. At least collects amethyst. Or the gems. Okay. Alright. Fuck. It's gonna be a long book. The packs of like traveler's gear and whatnot. Can I rummage through that and see if there's any writing of like any form?
Sure thing. Yeah, you are absolutely able to. It seems like for the most part it is just like traveling goods. Let's see. Roll me an investigation check, actually.
Hey, I'm so good at investigating.
You actually do find like a journal, and you're like, oh fuck, this is written in primordial. And then Adau, you walk by and you're like, no, that's literally just a fucking next door neighbor, like human tongue from a nearby kingdom.
That's also a cook.
No, oh my god, Hingwis, you're right. That is primordial.
You should holding it upside down, actually.
That.
But actually, though, Adau, you actually recognize the language because it's a human language spoken more towards Fluria. And Shiloah, where you're from, right? And I don't really distinguish too much between different human dialects unless it's like a very like continent apart, right? For the purposes of making it easy. But it is a specific human language that you actually recognize, Duncan, that Adau recognizes. Not only that, you recognize the name on there. The what? Sorry, Logan?
It's like the Catalan of these human languages.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, so Logan, you can't read it though. It's just a human language you aren't familiar with. At least not in written form. Duncan, it says, it basically says recordings of the travels of Solomon, guardian of Unudu.
I take the journal, I throw it at the wall, and I cast True Seeing.
You catch True Seeing.
Yeah, and I want to look around in this new light.
There's no secret doors, no hidden figures, no invisible creatures or things in this room. However, there's one thing you notice that you couldn't see before. You look over towards where the orb is, right? And you guys are all keeping your distance, I'm sure, from it. The orb is very small and inactive right now, like much smaller than you've seen it at any point. It's like golf ball size, actually. And none of you could see anything like around it or dealing with it or anything. But now with True Sight, you do notice a little wisp of energy going up into the air above it. A little wisp of energy, almost like a link to something.
Okay, that's exactly what I was going to ask. So so I'm going to go like stand, under it and kind of like point and pinpoint what direction it's going.
Yeah, it goes about it goes a few feet into the air, and then it kind of just, it doesn't dissipate so much as it like kind of swirls in a spot.
Oh wait. So it's not like a link that like I see go through the wall to something else.
No,
it just like goes and there's another.
It goes like 3 or 4 feet up and then swirls around. And it's very subtle. It's very, very subtle to the point that like you're not even sure if Detect Magic would have shown you this. It's super subtle. It's not even like
If
a
I-
active spell or anything. It's just some sort of like resonating kind of like trace of magic.
Does our half-giant friend have any insight as to what this could be?
Yeah, I'm going to tell Bjorn about that and ask, hey, do you know anything about that?
Yeah. So he was actually kind of like poking around at some of the amethyst chunks on the ground. He's like a staff, and he was poking around at the chunks of amethyst and kind of like lost in thought. But when you call over and you tell him what you see, he looks at you and says, "I would step back. Let's all take a step back here."
Okay.
And when you guys have all stepped back to like the outer edges of the room, he, as Helios goes up and licks it. Now, he kind of looks at you guys and he says, "I remember hearing legends about something with precious gems. When they appear like this, tell me, what do you all know of dragons?"
Hey, Kasaria, do you know what this is about?
Kasaria kind of laughs.
Yeah.
And she says,
Out of character, I know what this is. In character.
Kasaria laughs and she says, "I think I do. And I'm not going to tell you."
Pretty please. I'm trying to get you a body.
She kind of chuckles. And you can clearly tell she's enjoying the fact that, like, the one time she does know something, she's like, just like, "Yeah, I'm not going to tell you."
Wow.
Can I
Legend? Yeah, sure. Well, actually, first,
They said this is like legendary. You know the stories of this. So.
So he asked you. So Bjorn asked you guys. He's like, "What do you all know of dragons?"
I don't know. Give me 10 minutes.
In terms of,
as someone who can I roll? Hang on. Sure. I lived in a dragon worshipping empire for a long time. Yeah. How much do I know about that?
Yeah, so did I.
This would be either Arcana or History or religion.
Actually, I completely didn't, but my dad did, and he would have told me.
Yeah, History, Arcana, religion, any of those work for this.
My dad only taught me business skills.
Yeah.
How to do business?
I suck at being a cleric.
World's most fucking religious, intelligent cleric. Goddamn.
Yeah, right.
Do you guys need some help?
Yeah. Does anyone else want to try?
37 Arcana.
What is it? Arcana?
Arcana, History, or religion? Any of those. Okay. Okay.
Masses, man.
Talvo knows more about the history of this continent than any of us.
So
yeah, what the fuck?
This isn't
I gather
really just
information. It's what I do.
This isn't really just a history of this part thing. Bjorn would ask you guys, and this is what the role is going to be about. He asks you, like, what do you know about the types of dragons? So out of character, what do you guys know about?
Out of character, I know that this is an amethyst dragon, which is like the off-brand version of things, which is really cool.
Okay.
But in character, I don't think anybody knows what the fuck these are.
Yeah. What do people know about like what? Like Logan, what do you know about the lore of D&D dragons?
So there's chromatic dragons, and then there's metallic dragons, who usually one side is good and the other side is evil. Not always, but that's like often a dichotomy that exists.
Does that come from the other place, the Dragonlance? Is that where that's from?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's like basic D&D, I think.
Yeah, like just in general, D&D has two main types of dragons, right? Metallic and chromatic. And chromatic ones are generally the aggressive, kind of evil ones. Metallic ones are generally good and normally fairly secluded, though. And that is about what you guys will all know in character, except for Talvo. We'll get to what Talvo knows in a second. But that is basically like what you guys would all know in character as well. Talvo is pretty well read, though, and this is stuff that isn't like necessarily just... This is stuff that's just, you know, kind of knowledge about the world in general, not just this part of it. So anyone could have rolled high here, really. But Talvo would specifically have read about and heard about the fact that there is a third type of dragons. There is a third type of dragons, which are gemstone dragons.
Steven Universe bullshit.
And
the power of French.
What Talvo would know and what Helios would discover by legend loring, which would take a few minutes during this conversation to figure out for him. But what you would know, and what Helios would be able to find out, is that when the dragons fought against the giants before the barrier was ever erected, the the metallic dragons pretty much didn't want to have anything to do with it. A couple here and there, maybe, who were more ambitious, wanted to be rulers over kingdoms or whatever. But mainly it was the chromatic dragons that were doing this and waging war against the giants and their kingdoms. But the third type of dragons, the gemstone dragons, they had already, long before that even, kind of split off from the other two main groups and were the most secluded and isolated by far. In fact, and this is where, Helios might know a little bit about gemstone dragons. It sounds like out of character.
It's out of character. I know a lot about them because I've looked into them for my own campaign shit.
Yeah. Well, fun. Yeah,
we're in for some cool stuff here.
Fun fact is that the main D&D guy I watched when I was getting into D&D, Matt Colville, in his book, which I have right here, Strongholds and Followers. They did a whole section about gemstone dragons. They were a whole part of it here. They have here's a picture of one. Anyways, my take on them is not necessarily exactly the same, but what Helios and Talvo would be able to know and find out is that gemstone dragons, they split off from the other two types long ago, even before the war broke out. And the whole thing with gemstone dragons is that the ones who did live long enough, eventually not all, but most of them turned their efforts towards studies of magic. And some of them studied psionics. Some of them studied interdimensional magics. Some of them studied, warlock pacts and the bonds that exist there. But in any case, all of them are fairly, most of them are fairly interested in progressing their knowledge. And what ended up happening is that several of the gemstone dragons secluded themselves so much to the point that supposedly they created their own worlds, their own pocket dimensions where they ruled supreme.
Oh.
And the gemstone dragons, pretty much because of the fact they isolate themselves, have been dwindling in numbers ever since. Because they never procreate, basically. So there are, at this point, you guys would know, and this is something that only Helios would be able to figure out from legend lore. Helios would be able to figure out that, there's only a handful of gemstone dragons left at all. Pretty much a couple of each type. And each of them are thousands of years old. And pretty much just existing in their own, corners of the multiverse. Or in their own pocket dimensions and pocket worlds. So they're extremely reclusive beings.
Pokemon.
You're never going to just run across a gemstone dragon having their own lair somewhere. So
there's a gemstone dragon into whose realm all of our enemies have congregated. Which I'm guessing. And that means that the gemstone dragon doesn't like us for whatever reason. Amethyst is purple. So
very good.
I know.
Making a student.
Could we have the guy roll for that? I'm not sure if you'd know that and care.
Let's find out. Do I know? Nature check. I know that. Damn. I know Amethyst is purple. But there's another purple dragon that I know of that no one has seen in a very long time.
What are you talking about? Helios talked to him a week ago.
Yeah, which is bullshit. Fuck you, by the way.
I think, do we know that the purple dragon is is he just Urple, or is he is he a gemstone?
Yeah, why he Orpal?
You would know that the legends at least say that the legends don't say anything about him being, or them being a gemstone.
I thought it was a she.
Yeah.
Dragon folk.
Non-binary dragon.
Yeah.
The legends don't say anything about them being.
Okay, so they probably would if they were.
Why haven't we ever legend lored information about the purple one?
I have.
Do you have? Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Why do you think that they've spoken to him?
Yeah.
Idiot.
Maybe.
I guess I can tell you one thing then. Because there's probably some stuff.
Information you've already told me.
Yeah, there's some. The main thing here is I will say that you would know there are 2 purple dragons.
Oh.
There are 2 great.
So which one
dragons.
is your god?
And the whole thing is, this is something that you would know, is that there were 2, and they were the matriarch and patriarch of all of the chromatic dragons, basically.
Oh god,
that's new information to me.
They aren't like necessarily gods, but they are like, they're kind of like Kurbach, right? Where they are godlike in how they are venerated by the dragons.
Oh no.
So that is something.
Which one is the one that's alive?
Well, they're both alive.
Oh. Okay.
But this is something that the legend lore would actually bring up, because it's something that is not super well known, but definitely some of the higher clergy of the Purple Dragon, like clerical order or whatever, would know this. It's been passed down, which is that one of the Purple Dragons, is on this side of the barrier, and one is on the other side of the barrier. And that is one reason why a lot of the Dragon Elves want to bring down the barrier, is because they believe that their empire will flourish if they can reunite.
Okay, but if the Purple Dragon put up the barrier, clearly they have like a fight, and clearly they're just like, I don't want to talk to you. Here's a barrier separating our continents.
Yeah.
And
but damn,
they're going through some shit right now.
You're right. Purple Dragons rule of 2. Rumored they created a myth is one here and one on the other side.
Oh
wow.
no.
Adau is a child of dragon divorce.
Yeah. So divorce. So that is one thing that you would have known in the past, but it just hasn't come up that much, because that's kind of like big picture stuff that isn't necessarily relevant, although it could be to some stuff.
So Casaria, why were you like, if you could, it's a dragon? I mean, wow, that's so. Oh my god. You wanted to keep that from me when I was just about to learn it?
She's like, you killed me. I don't really feel like I need to help you at all.
You should respect me because of that.
She chuckles and she's like, hey, if it makes you feel any better, I've always felt that these gemstone dragons were fools, and they were well before my time.
Well, it sounds like they're after your time too.
Bruh.
Anyway, sorry, this is Brad.
Why don't you ever want to help me?
Well, I mean, it'd be kind of cumbersome if I were constantly talking to a DMPC. So I kind of just assume that I talk to Casaria sometimes, but not in.
Yeah, she would most of the time not want to help you guys. She's fairly spiteful still. So. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, and so Bjorn will kind of also fill you in on some of those things that you probably had known at some point, or maybe knew.
I wrote it down. At some point I did know it.
Yeah. Yeah. So Bjorn would tell you. He's like these the amethyst here makes me believe it is such a dragon.
Huh.
And
then what's that thing? The link that I'm seeing.
He shrugs. He's like, that I am not sure about. He would tell you. He's like,
touch it.
He tells you, or he would look at you, and he's like, the reason I said we should step back though is because, well, think about it like this: if this is an amethyst dragon we're dealing with, it's probably 2,000-3,000 years old and has been studying magic that entire time in a pocket dimension where it may not even experience time the same way we do. We should be cautious.
You think it is insane, or what?
He shrugs again. He's like, from what I've heard, the gemstone dragons can be obsessive with their hunt for knowledge.
Good thing we're a bunch of idiots, then.
Yeah. I hope that we don't live in any sort of spherical object, Logan, because there's a godlike being with a hunt for knowledge in here. There's another campaign that he was in, where the big bad was a guy who just constantly ate entire universes to get all of the knowledge contained within them, and they were called spheres, and we're in a spherical dome. Okay, well, if I were to overlay a map on, like, from any point in this room with the, like, distance between the orb and the other half orb thing that I'm seeing, does it, like, show me anything?
No, I don't think I get what you're saying, but no.
Okay. So nothing to do with a map would show me anything, is what you're saying?
It doesn't really seem like there's much of a pattern to it, right? It basically just seems like there's a wispy connection, and like there's a little wispy trail, right? And then another kind of invisible orb that you can only see barely with true sight. It's not an orb, but it's like a cloud almost.
Yeah, it's definitely the little pocket dimension thingy. We want to know.
Maybe. What if I touch that one? Like, what if I?
Do you want to touch it?
Yeah, I want to go up and I just want to jump and give it a high five.
Okay. So you guys see Adau go up, jump up, touch a point in the air. Like you guys literally can't see. You guys literally can't see anything, and Adau is no longer there.
Like we could have told him this was gonna happen.
Adau is.
I knew this was. I kind of knew this was gonna happen.
Adau is no longer in the room with you guys.
Spell magic.
The what?
I think I have Dispel Magic. Okay. Hang on.
I also do.
You guys cast Dispel Magic, or one of you casts Dispel Magic. Nothing happens. We'll go to what Adau sees in a moment.
Well, shit.
I send to Adau. I forget how that works with planes.
It actually it works 95% of the time, so
okay.
It's only a 5% chance it doesn't work.
This is how we learn what Adau sees. But you good?
You guys ever real quick while you're do you guys ever see the movie Galaxy Quest? It's not it's not obscure.
No.
You guys, there's one point where they're testing a beam me up teleporter, and then it brings something that's inside out. So what if Adau just appeared inside out? Anyways, okay.
We really are a little too experimental.
So let's see. Anything but a 1 succeeds. So your message goes through. You say what are you seeing? And then I guess to see that real quick, we're gonna end the session in a moment. But Adau, when you touched it, you immediately your vision just blurred, and then after a moment you find yourself on an island, and the sounds of lapping water fill your ears, and there's even seagulls calling. You look around.
Big island?
What? Well, so
is it a tiny little sandbar, or is it a big island?
It's a decent-sized island. As you look around, you see that it's a grassy, nice island that leads around in different directions. There's actually a couple buildings, like a little village, and then a little dirt road going up to a massive castle overlooking a cliffside, right? It's up on a cliff, and then the rest of the island kind of slopes down to where you are, where you're on the far end of it from the castle. You see a couple people actually working. One of them, in fact, looks up at you and then kind of goes back to work. They didn't really care what you're doing. This person actually has horns. They're a tiefling, which you have heard of, but are pretty rare in my world, actually.
I've never seen a tiefling.
They're pretty rare. You also see working next to the tiefling in this little garden is a spriggan or sprite of some sort, like a woodland spirit creature, a dryad, something like that. They don't seem to pay you much attention, but there's one thing that is striking to you above all else. There's no sky here. The reason I say that is because there's no sky per se, but you are within a dome, and the dome is faceted with thousands of individual faces of an amethyst, as if you're inside of a massive amethyst. There is some natural light that just kind of emanates from this and kind of sparkles on the creases, and reflects. But you're in.
Does everything just look purple?
That probably would be the first thing I noticed.
There's probably a hue to it, but it does seem like the light it's very pleasant light. It's not a light you've ever seen before, but it is pleasant. It's not harsh. It's weird, but it's not. It doesn't hurt your eyes or anything. And
James D like purple lighting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you see this massive arching. It looks like if you had to guess, like looking out over the water, you're like, how far is it to the edge of this dome? Probably like half a mile. It's not that big, right? But the water itself looks like and acts like a normal ocean, like a normal sea. And it just, and this island is in the middle of this dome.
I guess I start walking towards the castle.
Okay. As you start walking, that's probably when you hear a message from Helios. You get a sending message that says, like,
yes.
What did you say, Helios? Is it like, what the hell are you seeing in there?
Yeah. Like, are you alive? I think.
Yeah. It Orpal.
3 words.
Yeah. No, it's a... What, I have 25 words?
Yeah.
Or is the reply not word constrained?
I think it is still. So 25.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll say, yeah, this is definitely the pocket dimension. The sky is purple. There's a castle. I'm gonna see what's going on. I'm pretty sure it's less than 25.
I think so, yeah.
15.
You can follow me in, just hit where I hit, you know? Let's see. I'm fine. The sky is a amethyst 7. Do contractions count as one word or 2? I guess 1 word.
Talvo will follow Adau in there as soon as he figures out a way to get back fucking out.
Hit the... Yeah, you can follow me in. Just hit the same spot. That's 7, 10, 15, 20. That's 20 words.
Okay. So, Helios, you hear this? Do you do anything or tell anything to the group?
Pass on the message.
Okay.
We cannot hear you.
Oh,
hello?
Yeah, Logan, you're...
Oh, yeah, I said pass on the message.
No, I think Logan is.
Oh, Logan.
Okay, so you can hear me now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Alright, so, okay. He's in another dimension. We... Can the genie, like, plane shift from this pocket dimension back to reality? Oops, there goes gravity. Bree, do you know the limits of your genie's plane shifting?
Put it in chat.
Yeah, the genie does have a mouth and a brain, too. So he can tell us.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah, reasonably intelligent.
Yeah, you could just ask the genie. Yeah, you could summon the genie forth and ask him. He would tell you that he if you ask him, he would literally say, he's like, I have no knowledge of the specifics of this pocket dimension, but I have yet to find such a realm that I cannot leave.
Well, the first for everything. Let's go in.
It's for everything, but I mean,
if
fuck
he
it,
went
right?
in there, could he like half cast it and see if it would work without burning it or no?
No, not really.
Well, we'll need to get it down somehow.
I mean, I do have plane shift. I can leave whenever I want.
No,
I hope. You know.
Well, plane shift. Okay, wait. So is it the same spell that you and the genie that he and
It's
the
the
genie
same
have?
spell. Yeah.
Okay.
I also have a theory on this. I just have to rest before I can prepare that one. You know, so I have a few different ways.
Helios, I have an idea. Tell Adau to try and plane shift back, and if he can, then we'll all go in, and then we'll just use the genie to plane shift back later.
Okay, I said that in 25 words and
Okay.
burn another sending.
Yeah, that's fine. You send that, and you're basically like try to plane shift back, and then we can go back with you and use the genie if needed.
Adau is hesitant to do that because if I do that, it means that's my most powerful spell gone. And what if I need that? You know. So I think, but also out of character. I mean, that's kind of a dick move to just be like, no, let me do all the cool stuff myself. So I mean,
if he doesn't return
I
in the next
guess
10 seconds, then the plane shift doesn't work, and he might be stuck there.
Yeah, I mean they wouldn't know. I mean I would say like I don't know if I will. Maybe I might I might need my. Well, I have control weather and earthquake. That's kind of not good for this. I don't know.
Okay. So
I guess fine. I'll do
it's probably one of those things where in character Adau realizes all this. He's like, well, if I don't go, they're gonna assume I'm like dead or something, or like I'm trapped. And so then Adau's probably like, fuck, and
he's like, Talvo is definitely gonna go through all my shit and start taking shit if I don't.
I already took breakfast.
And so after a few seconds of thinking it over, then presumably Adau can like cast plane shift and zoop, you do reappear. As you're leaving, your last glimpse was seeing like a dolphin crest out of the water and stuff. Like, it's a very pretty place. And then you go zoop.
Neat.
Is he purple now?
No,
I'm already purple. I wear my armor's like purple engraving.
He looks normal.
You should paint yourself purple.
Yeah.
So you guys see Adau that for a second. You're like, whoa, he's purple now.
You guys see Adau appear in front of you, and he looks normal. Yeah.
You're like, hey, so we know it works. Sorry for the spell slot.
Yeah. Well, it turns out I didn't need it because I didn't get stuck in there. So.
Okay, just.
Yeah. So I guess we all hop in now and just rely on the genie to get us back out.
Well, I guess so.
Are we ready? For
so Bjorn, I saw the pocket dimension. That was it. So like
Bjorn looks fascinated, and he's like, this is probably not the best time, but I want to know everything about it.
Bring him
okay. Yeah. Here. I'll tell you. Here, come over. Stand right here.
He's like, This is a good question, though. Plane shift is you and up to 8 willing creatures. So, obviously, you're not limited in who jumps in, but if you want to bring everyone back at once, you need to carefully...
So make sure that no more than 8 people go through this at a time, otherwise one person just...
Yeah, and that includes the genie.
5 of us.
So it's the
there's
genie.
5 of us, the genie is 6, so we could have 3 more.
Rats.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the rats... I think we should bring Bjorn. We should bring Bjorn or Hatefather, You wouldn't that, Or wait, hold on.
If they know a little bit about this place, we should bring them.
Yeah, well, I don't know if Hatefather will, but like it would be nice to see their interaction with the dragon,
Yes, but so an amethyst dragon, Bora, you said was gone for like several thousand years.
He shrugs. He's like they've over time become increasingly more isolated and less prone to interacting with those in the normal world.
We may need someone who speaks Draconic.
That's true.
He nods and he kind of shrugs. He's like, I do actually speak Draconic.
That's smart. This would have sucked otherwise.
They also have, well, hold on. So, Kasaria, this dragon's probably older than you, like 2 or 3 times older. So, but
Shit.
But yeah.
I should have had you stay in there a little bit longer. Figure out if time flows the same or not.
I felt like I was in there for like a minute or so. But,
now it's been 3 years.
Was he gone for... Yes, it was. Yeah.
A minute in here costs us 8 years.
No, yeah.
Maneuver.
You missed brunch. No.
Was it like a minute?
Yeah,
or did it seem like he just came right back like instantly?
It seemed about like what he kind of described. Like it doesn't seem too far off. So, if anything, so.
Okay.
Who
has tongues?
He actually came back a millisecond earlier.
The genie has tongues.
Oh.
Yeah, he could be a translator too. Yeah.
But I can also talk to anything, but like there's the weird shit where like they can understand me, but I can't understand them.
Yeah.
Which is it's half helpful.
I think what we'll do is we're gonna wrap up here with you guys thinking about who's gonna go in next time. Who's gonna be your +3?
Okay. Somebody write that down before you, and that'll forget.
Adau just jumps in. He gets the things again. He goes.
Okay, we're doing this now. Great. All right.
But
you guys deal with that later.
But yeah, we'll. I think we'll wrap up here with you guys about to jump back in with whoever you decide after the fact. Like we can decide between sessions who would be going with. But it sounds like we'll be opening next session with you entering the realm of the dragon Kaisiax. Not that you know that is his name, but or their name. I don't know if they're a guy.
Weird. When Adau teleported in, there was a big sign that said, "Welcome to Kaisiax Island."
Yeah.
Neon glowing sign.
So
I'm gonna guess
neon purple.
Or well, maybe. I mean,
no, the world did not shake when the amethyst was just a side effect of something
of it being there. Has it always been there? Like if I had true seed. What the fuck? If I had cast True Seeing at some point before, would you have known?
No,
to tell us about that.
It wasn't there before.
Okay,
it wasn't there before. No.
Motherfucker can teleport between wellsprings.
Maybe.
I fucking hate this orb, dude.
Yeah, there's got to be something
True
to do
seed.
about this fucking orb.
Yeah. Well, so keep in mind that I actually came up with a name for the orb because It's the same phenomenon that creates the well springs. So it's going to be called... I decided it's going to be called a well stone. It's a well stone.
Well stone?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the name of it.
Interesting.
I just literally earlier today was like, oh, a well stone. That makes sense. So it's a well stone. Because it's, again, the idea is that well springs and well stones they're just a well of pure magical force, right? A confluence of pure magical force. And in the case of a spring, it's like, literally just like a kind of, a source of water that coincides in the, normal world with where the magic coincides with the flow of magic, right? Like, they just happen to coincide in this one point and meet up. And the stone is the same thing, but just in the middle.
Just happen to be in a mountain.
Yeah, in the heart of a mountain, there's this confluence of magical energy that gets knotted up with the stone in the mountain, and then they excavate it around it, but that's why it's so kind of sporadic and uncontrollable too, is because it's now exposed to the world. So are there legends about something like this existing just in the air?
Yeah, there's like a magic wind it blows past you and your head spins around real quick.
There might be, honestly. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But there probably are, to some extent, this part of the world as well just has. I've talked about this before. This part of the world has heightened wild magics in general, and so there are probably just stories about wild storms that appear and just wreak havoc, right? Just randomly a fucking Category 7 hurricane appears.
In Kansas.
We've lost some merchant ships to that bullshit before. That's just the cost of doing business.
Yeah, so there probably is stuff like that. Yeah. Anywho, so
still are psionic bullshit.
Yeah. I'm curious, Helios. So the gemstone dragons, was it from the?
It's like from what's his fuck Fitzgerald's led book of other dragons.
Okay, because so I was talking about how Matt Colville and his company, when they made this book and stuff, he uses gemstone dragons in his world, but they're not he didn't make them up necessarily either. They were, for a long time, people have had them as kind of their own separate category of dragon too.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, but they're not.
Fizbon. Yeah, that's from Dragonlance.
Yeah. So they are an older thing too. They're just not necessarily. Yeah.
So as soon as you said amethyst, I knew what you were doing. I didn't know enough. I didn't know enough to
Yeah.
Would he do that?
Well, it's also because.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, to be fair, I also just have my own take on it as well.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm going to give you inspiration because of the fact that I think that's fun that you knew that.
I've been doing my research.
Yeah, that's fun. So I'm going to give you inspiration for that. But yeah,
didn't you already have inspiration for winning?
No, I haven't had inspiration in months.
You didn't get inspiration for winning a Peggle race in front of 20,000 people. What the fuck?
Poetry? I should get.
I should have. Yeah. Okay, but no. Now you get inspiration for this. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was fun. I like.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was definitely some lore dumping at the end. So.
Getting the record 12 hours before that too. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
I don't even like Peggle, and I'm fucking at bat for this, man.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, I think that's gonna do it for us for tonight. I'll be good to go next week as well, I believe. So.
Yeah.
I should be good for all of February now. I rearranged my schedule.
Okay. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I actually worked yesterday. I'm going to be working some Saturdays for my new job, depending on the schedule. But Sundays I shouldn't ever work. So, yeah.
All right.
Okay, that'll do it for us then. I think we're gonna wrap up here. I'm gonna host someone up. You know what? Let's host up Summoning Salt. Summoning Salt is live right now.
What?
Oh, neat.
Summoning Salt goes live?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, he grinds Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I've caught a couple of them.
Summoning Salt when Dismissing Pepper shows up.
Yeah, nice. Yeah,
that's what you. Everyone keeps like shaming you for like, oh, use a Summoning Salt video or song in your thing. That's name your channel that, and then just
exactly.
roll with it.
Okay. Management paprika.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, but that'll do it for us. For anyone watching the stream, thanks for hanging out. I'm hopefully gonna be streaming more this week. I've just been really, adjusting to my new work schedule. So, yep, and we'll see everyone later. Bye-bye.
Adios.
Bye.